I'm gonna go ahead and start the local record, and that way, and I can cut some of this out if we need to, Thunder. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna do it now so I don't forget, and then not have a whole bunch of footage.
Okay.
You can hear it, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Talk to each other.
Also, I got a great new set of dice the other day. Very, very happy. They're cobalt blue.
Fun.
Sure, why not?
That'll improve your roll 20 dice tremendously.
Totally. Yeah.
You can send us pictures as you roll them.
No. I am not going through that kind of pain.
Another natural 20.
And another natural... You just realize it's all the same picture with, like, different filters each time.
Ready whenever you guys are.
Yep. And because we do have some new viewers, maybe a quick, hey, this, especially now that we have Ignacio here, maybe a quick, like, this is who we are, each of us are, really quick, and then we're good.
Alright.
So.
Okay, so, welcome back to the Armanian Adventurers with our wonderful PCs. Argus, the mechanical man.
Hi.
Yep. Karen, the shadow rogue.
Booyah.
Vorkus, the dragonborn brawler.
Rawr.
Takes 20 minutes from Zara.
Yep.
20 years.
Sarthaxtra Viliax, the learned necromancer. Adjectives are hard. Give me a break. Anyways.
You're doing good.
You're fine.
And Vora, the mysterious water elemental. Elemental? Water genasi.
It's
Can
me.
you change your...
A full elemental. That's impressive.
Nah, not quite, but half. Only half. Anyways.
Yep.
Yes, as we left off, as our heroes were making their escape from the town of Ravenhold, and managed to find some friends and some chaos along the way, helping not save, but help a shipwreck from getting too much worse. They were taken to the town of Brutewater. They were given free drinks and a discount on their rent. And meanwhile, a few of their, one of their NPC companions left. As they take off, finally, for the port town of Riversong, they
Went
They docked.
spearfishing.
Huh?
Went spearfishing. And tried to sell bacon fish.
Oh, the antics we have.
That's pretty good, actually.
Docking
great.
on the south side of the city, they make their way to a tavern, have a bit of a chat about sleight of hand discipline, and set off to do their own thing.
Alright. So, I guess the first thing we'd probably figure out is where are we actually going to stay? Because there's a couple of taverns here, I think.
I moved you guys to 23, the newcomers in, no, the
Okay.
Seaborn Tavern. But there
Okay.
are a few different taverns around the area.
Alright. I mean, Seaborn Tavern's fine. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Seems fine.
Okay. So I guess we'd walk in there to start with, because we'd probably not want to just be chatting about personal stuff until we actually knew we were away from your average set of eyes.
Yeah.
And that's
Right
tricky
on
for
the-
Argus.
Yeah, right on the coast. The signing draws you to it, and you're welcomed in. Place is rather lively. There's fishing and sailing memorabilia lining the walls. It's a rather big place, but it seems as though half of the building that you saw as you entered in is cut off and reserved for rooms. It's only one story place.
Yeah, I'll kind of just go up to the bartender. I'll ask for a couple of rooms for us.
Easy enough. How many?
We can start with one room for now. We'll expand on that as we decide.
I thought we usually go for at least 2 total.
Well, if we want to talk first, get our
Yeah.
mind about us, find out what we want to do.
Yeah, but I mean, are we gonna stay here for the night? Basically. Because I figure you and Vora will probably share a room. I would
I
assume.
mean, what time did we get here from the boat trip?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You got here late morning, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Late
10,
morning? Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's late morning, then we have all day to decide. So why don't we just get one room so we can
At least have it
load
reserved.
off our back,
Okay.
and we'll decide what we want later on.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll pay for one room now. I'll pay.
All right. He looks you guys over and says, all right. 8 silver.
Sure.
That's not bad.
And I'll say, make sure it's one of the ones that can fit all of us in there. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, like a
I'll
proper
see
suite.
what I can do.
Just make sure it can fit all of us.
And he sort of shouts back to a halfling so I can see sort of in the back and says, find us the biggest room we can. Empty anyways.
I'd like to look around and see if there's like a corner booth that's sort of out of the way that might fit at least most of us. If maybe we have to pull up a chair or two or something.
Sure. Yeah, there's one nearby.
All right. And just say I'll look at the bartender as well and just say, hey, we'd like that booth and we'd like to not really be disturbed, but a round of ale for everybody. And however much that costs, so just make that happen.
He gives you a nod and says, 5 silver.
Okay, I was gonna say 5 what? 5 plat. Yeah, that one. Okay, yep, 5 silver, no problem. And I guess we'll just all head over that way.
Sarth would like to walk up to Vora really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to look down at Vora and I'm like, well, so it's been a long time since we talked or hung out or anything. And there's things that I might say in the near future that will surprise you. So, sorry for that.
I just nod.
I nod back. And then I'll continue going up to our room.
Wait, are we going to the room or are we going to the corner booth? Because I wanted to drink.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I got the booth so that we could sort of chill out while they're finding a room because we don't know that we have one yet.
Buy
Yeah.
dinner before we get to the room.
Yeah, I mean I don't eat ever really, but I'll have a drink just for the shits and giggles. It's more of a
Something
ritual
like
for
that.
me at this point. I can't get drunk, but at least I can,
You have to make a human sacrifice before you drink.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll quickly head up to the bar before we go to the booth, and I'll can I have 2 shots of the strongest thing you have, please?
Same.
Fair enough. I mean,
Yeah, he sort of looks you guys over and says, Boris, get some of that dragon shot, I think it's called. And then he looks back to you guys and says, that'll be 15 silver.
How much for the bottle?
We're gonna drink dragon.
damn. Okay, it's gonna be one of those nights. All right.
15 silver each or a piece?
15 silver for the whole thing, but I think
Well,
Karen's trying to buy the bottle.
bottle's gonna cost 3 gold.
Done.
This is that pure alcohol, like, Soko style stuff, basically?
Yep.
I'll give
Okay.
you a gold, Karen.
Awesome. I will give you a third of the bottle.
Awesome.
I'll flip enough for a shot, because why not? I'm curious to see how it'll affect me, if at all.
It'll flip him 5.
5 silver? Alright.
Just 5.
Okay, just 5. Yeah.
Yep, he knows.
So as we're sitting at the table, I kind of just look directly at Karen. I'm not really even smiling. I'm actually kind of like frowning a little bit, and I just gotta look at him and like, we need to talk about that thing.
I take first of my 2 shots, and I'm like, hold on 1 minute.
I reach over for a
Okay.
shot and I want to know how it affects me, so I'm going to take a shot because I did give Karen 5 silver.
Alright, who's taking the shot?
Argus is going to try to take a shot and see what happens.
Alright.
I've taken one.
I'm gonna take a drink like a normal person.
Well, I've got a
Oh,
mug of
yeah,
ale, but I
so-
want to take a shot of this. 'Cause this is like that nasty pure alcohol type booze. I'm sure some of us are
Billy
familiar
and
with.
Argus, Konchak and Argus, you don't get drunk, but the taste of alcohol is overwhelming your senses a bit.
Alright, con save or con check?
You don't have to take it.
No, not for you. You can't get drunk. You don't. This kind of
Okay.
thing doesn't really do much for you. But
Okay.
the aroma and like the sort of the feeling, the
Right.
sensation, I guess, of alcohol just kind of overwhelms your senses a bit. Like it
Okay.
seems a bit diluted, just because of how your senses work these days. But it's definitely a lot stronger than typical now.
Just that description makes me think of Spiritus. Screw that stuff. Sorry. Bad experiences in real life. Alright.
Buddy, I don't even drink. How do you expect me to describe booze?
No, that's fine. You actually managed to knock it on the head. For like really nasty
Whenever
stuff?
you describe it, make
Oh.
sure you describe it like you're describing poison, and you're good.
Yeah. The best way to
Right.
like if you're describing really strong alcohol, describe vomit and you got it pretty much. Sorry.
All right, well,
It's true.
Karen, hits you like a truck, but you're standing.
That was the first one. You gonna
Yeah.
do this again?
All right, hang on. All right, here goes the second one.
Okay, keeping us in suspense.
Oh. Not good.
Yeah. You,
I hit the table.
you hit the table and
So
you
what-
feel like your nostrils are on fire and you feel like throwing up.
Best free gold ever.
Can
I
I
want to reiterate to Karen as he's like drinking this liquor. I'm serious. We need to talk about that thing on your chest.
can I cast like
Cool.
lesser
We can
restoration
totally
on
do
him to at least make sure that he's not gonna vomit on the table?
Yeah.
Like I want to leave him drunk, but I want to kind of like make
Well,
it
if you
so.
less a restoration, he's good. Wiped clean of that.
That's true. I guess
So
I'll.
basically, you wipe his intestines.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I don't know. Whatever. I look over at Karen and say, "You want some help, buddy?"
If you do it, it will allow him to get drunk again in the future.
Just ask,
Argus,
"You want some help, buddy?"
do you remember what it's like to have a penis? Because I've been wondering for a while, like, you're like big and metal, but like, do you still, like, you know, choke
trying
the
not
metal
to-
chicken?
I'm just gonna look at him like, I mean, I can't really do a facial expression, but I'm just gonna kind of look at him, reach my hand out,
I think he's trying to flirt with you.
I think so too, and I want it to stop, so I'm doing restoration.
Yeah, so you feel,
So,
Billy, almost like a almost freezer burn as this wave washes over you, and then in less than a second, you're completely fine, and you realize what you just said.
huh. What question still stands?
Short answer? Sort
I
of.
mean, if it's short, you can tell me.
God damn it. I do
that
remember,
level.
but it's been a while, and no, there's no metal chicken. Happy now?
Yeah, alright, cool. Alright, Soph, yeah, let's do this.
So that thing in your chest, that's not normal, man.
No, it's not. And I kind of turned to Vorkus because he wasn't there, and I like very briefly like check to see we do have some privacy in this booth, and then I like slowly pull like the top half of the shirt, and you'll see an ebony like stone almost kind of embedded into the chest.
I just sort of look over and go, mine's blue.
I think that's definitely something we need to talk about because we don't know anything about each other.
I think at this point we all need to...
Well, we know
At
that
least-
August doesn't have a chicken.
That is
Thanks.
true. I can't deny facts.
I think we all need to at least talk a little bit, and if we're gonna keep adventuring together, so to speak, we each deserve to know at least a little bit about each other. I think that's fair.
As you say that, a halfling sort of comes up with the tray of the 5 ales and says to you guys that your room's ready and hands you a sort of a token with a number on it.
Okay, I'll grab it. Pass the drinks out and like, shall we go upstairs?
Sure.
Will that make this easier?
I'll
May as
kind of
well.
go outside real quick and I'll yell over to Vora that we're going up to the room. We'd like her to come along so she can chat with us. He can chat with us.
You don't make this easy for her. I don't blame you for it, but you don't make it easy.
You haven't
Okay.
met him, you haven't met him yet.
Vora? Yeah, I have.
No, I'm talking about in real life.
Oh. I don't know that I ever will.
Probably won't.
No, that's fair. Okay, here's
Anyway,
some-
room, thing, talk, things.
Yep. Okay, I guess we'll head up to the room.
All right. Yeah, you head down. Basically, it's a one-story building. You head down a rather lengthy hallway, and then you get into basically a square with rooms on either side, like lining the walls.
Okay.
And
We'll
then you
find
eventually
rooms.
find the room you're looking for.
Yep.
Enter in. It's relatively spacious. Queen-sized bed, sort of shoved in the corner with a nice rug. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it can fit all of you.
Alright.
Vorkus, you can have the bed.
I don't need a bed, so that at least frees one up.
Besides,
I know,
we'll go lay down in bed.
I'll
I
just
know
sit down on the
somebody got
floor.
fleas last time they were on a bed.
I'll sit down on the floor and I don't know, maybe if I have rations or if I grab something downstairs, I don't remember doing it, but if I grabbed anything off like a buffet table, I'll just kind of feed Nix for a few. Because
Sure.
why not?
So I'll sit on the bed and I'll kind of have this like serious look about me. A lot of things have dawned on her in the past just few days now, and not just dawned, but a lot of things have happened that could potentially impact the near future for both her and everyone around. So
Yeah.
she's a little more serious than she normally would be. And she's like, so a lot of things that can happen in general sense, but for us in particular, if we continue to travel with each other, we're kind of sort of headed down a path that provides both danger just adventure in general, going down that path, we're going to need to trust each other. I mean, to put it bluntly, we're just going to need to trust each other. And I understand that, we didn't really know each other before the past few days, for the past week. So I think if we share a little bit about each other, maybe we can come to an understanding of mutual trust.
All right, I'm down.
Fair. And in an uncharacteristic joke from Argus, he sits there and goes, "Hi, my name is Argus."
Hi, Argus.
Hi, Argus.
Hi, August.
And I'm not an alcoholic.
I just start clapping, the slow clap,
Sorry,
by
I couldn't
myself
help it.
Until it gets awkward.
I couldn't help it. Well,
Slow clap on myself until it gets awkward, and then
but I guess I'll just look over at Karen and say, well, you kind of started, so do you mind finishing up, your side of this, and then we can, in a sense, take turns?
Oh, was it my turn?
Well, you kind of started the whole thing, so you may as well, finish
you have
it.
this stone in your chest.
And yet we're just going to ignore the metal man? Okay, fine.
We'll get to
I
me,
mean-
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's a metal man. Let's be fair.
No, that's cool. I think I was going to go alphabetical, but that's fine. Hi, I'm Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Oh, just one person? All right.
I've
mean,
heard this
everyone-
bit before.
Everyone said hello to August.
The joke was old.
It's not new anymore, yeah.
It wasn't a joke. I was legitimately saying hi.
Hello.
Fine. So I just undo the shirt again. I'm like, so this is a thing.
It's not that kind of interview.
I mean, it can be.
Toss a copper coin into his belt line.
Please continue.
Yeah, this is a thing. So a while ago, I was a part of a group known as the Twilight Blade. You may have heard of them, you may have not, I don't know.
Weren't those the people trying to kill us like 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Oh, so those are your friends.
Yeah, they weren't after the Duke, I think. Yeah. I think they were more interested in me. And then I looked down and I'm like, well, more interested in this specifically.
Well, didn't they attack the Duke on the way in when you had nothing to do with him?
Was that them?
I thought it was someone else.
Unconfirmed.
Oh, we don't know.
Unconfirmed.
Maybe.
Well, what is it, then?
I'm trying to
Say
get to that.
what?
I keep getting interrupted.
That's why I'm trying to push it along, my friend.
You're still interrupting. So, I was tasked to go and retrieve an item known as the Heart of Shadow and bring it back. When I went to go get said item, I looked down again. It kind of attached itself to me, and now I have like these weird powers. And I didn't really feel like giving it back, so I left. And obviously they want it, and I have it, and here we are.
I see.
Fair enough. Do you know if there's going to be... Well, considering if they're after you, and if we're traveling with you, do you know if they're going to be here in this city? Or at least a likelihood?
If they're not already established here, then if they're following me in any way or have any way of tracking me, they will show up at some point. Hence why I've been happy to keep moving during all
That's
of the
fair.
time we've been together.
Any
And,
idea of warning signs of them being around that maybe we, could potentially help looking out for? Because I'd rather not get stabbed in the back if possible.
The thing about a group like that doesn't really have warning signs.
Fair enough.
Although I've been keeping an eye out for them.
All right.
And speaking with contacts everywhere we go to see who's been through guild activities in the local area. so far. We just got here, so I haven't had time to speak to anyone. But
Fair
I'll do my best to find out when we head out.
All right.
Sure. Is there anything else that you'd like to share for show and tell?
Yeah, I'll put 80 platinum into the party fund.
Oh, right, yeah. So,
Where was that?
yeah, revisiting the topic. If want to do a party fund, since I'm speaking in character, since I am, more intelligent than any of you guys, I can run numbers better.
Stop there.
We get it.
I mean, it's true.
You may be smart, but you're also an asshole. There's one of those two conditions that we need you to work on, and it's not the smart one.
Well, I'm just saying, that's why I'd be good at keeping total of the money and just putting it out there. And I say, all right, Karen, I start scribbling down in my writing kit what you've given. You've given 80 plat. Anyone else want to make a donation?
I think we can get there as we go around the room anyway. Let's just do it that way. It's easier.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll put my button the shirt back and cover the armor up and everything, and be like, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm about right now.
Interesting.
I don't know if I can even take this thing out without causing myself any kind of massive harm. So I'm gonna leave it where it is for now.
That's
You'll
fair.
have to let me take an in-depth look at it later.
One step at a time, Seth.
May I ask,
Because it's so smart.
considering, and I'll turn to Karen and I'll say, well, considering we both seem to have crystals embedded in ourselves one way or another, may I ask, at least in a general sense, and I understand if you don't want to, talk about it fully, but what does it do? I mean, just in a very general way. I'm curious.
I manifest a dagger in my hand made out of shadow, and then I
Fair
poke
point.
you with it, and you feel it,
Oh,
and then I dissipate it, and I'm like, there you go.
it's probably like the pressure sort of thing, unless it's, I don't know, because I don't know. Argus feels things in weird ways, but he notices it for at least.
Yeah, it makes solid contact. Like you hear
Yeah.
it clinking against you.
Interesting.
That's what it's done so far.
Alright, well. The more you know. I've been wondering how you had so many freaking daggers.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to let me take a look at you at some point.
Like I said, one step at a time.
I just chuckle a little bit. I kind of look at Argus really quickly, look over at Vorkus and at Vora, and I say, well, I want you to know, I look at everybody again, that I am serious. I know I've rubbed you guys the wrong way since we've met. I might have been an ass or a little selfish, but there's reasons I have to do things. And I look over at Vora directly in the eyes now this time, and I'm just like, as I speak to the rest of the group, I'm not speaking directly to Vora, but I'm looking at her. I'm like, there are people that have known me previously in my life, and then I look down to the ground. I'm like, there have been things that have happened in my life that have brought me on a certain path. By nature, I'm not an evil person per se or anything, but I know that I have to do certain things sometimes to either make ends meet or to continue in pursuit of my goal.
That's fair.
Early on in my studies, I began as a priest of Vul. It was a good life. I had met Bora at this point in time in my life. We did some odd mercenary work or just odd work around the town. I would help out anyone who needed it, whether they could pay or not. It was a good life. It was very calm, very relaxing for the general part of it, but it was very rewarding. I started to become more interested in reading texts and tomes and scrolls, and I started to learn the arcane arts. As I started to transition to that part of my life, it just helped Flora and myself with our tasks and what we wanted to do in our life, and we became better at it. We grew developed quite the friendship. And this is where I hang my head again as I break eye contact with Vora, and I'm just like, and then there was the defining moment in my life. I went off on a quest to examine some long-lost tomes that I received word about. And when I got to the cave that they were said to be in, I got to this cave, and I found the tomes. They were guarded. I defeated the guardians. And as I was searching through some of the chests that were there, I came across this really old book. Really old book. And I started flipping through the pages, and I could barely understand any of it. But I had this aura about this book. It reached into my soul and gave me just a hint, touch of the knowledge that it could bestow upon me. And as I've studied it over the past while now, it's opened my eyes up to how I have to go about this world and get to a place where I can finish understanding this book. And she looks up at everyone now and says that she understands that what this book potentially might be about, some people could use it for great evil things. The knowledge that it contains, the types of magics that it contains, could be quite evil. But if it can stay in the right hands, it could be quite benefit to the right people. Not used for evil means. That is why I can't give it to anybody else. I have to use it myself. I have to learn this myself. It's changed the person that I used to be. It's had me lead a different life than I've wanted. But I know it's necessary, and I will have it.
I understand having a task that you feel you need to complete at all odds, and with at all costs as well. And from what you're saying, it seems that this is an important thing. And,
if I don't do it and somebody else does and it falls into the wrong hands, it could be a problem, to say the least. It could be very bad.
I understand, and I am a paladin. I'm happy to help as I can. Just, I'd like to request that with any more of your plans, etc., try to keep us in the loop a little, because knowing that does change my evaluation.
That is what this is about. This is about garnishing trust between us so that we can talk to each other. You know, before I was just trying to look past the current predicament, the current money-making scheme, and worry about how I was going to attack my next near future, you know. And if we want to go this route, I think it'll be a good idea and safer for the whole of us. And,
that's fair.
I'll try to be more open. Try to keep in mind that as of the way of the arcane, I can't be expected to explain it to you guys because you guys don't understand it.
It may be somewhat foreign to us for sure, at least for some of us, and that's fair. Just, if we're going to be a team, yeah, I suppose this is a good first step.
I look over at Bora really quickly, and I'm just like, Bora, I'm sorry that I left you when I did back when we were together working, but you don't understand. Like, the book guided me in a whole different direction in life. That book is it's very important, not just to myself, but for what can happen in this world. Also, out of character, this book that I'm talking about is the same book that I brought to Dega.
Oh, okay.
So you did recognize it by the description. I didn't pull it out right now or anything, but I did. The way I described it would have.
Weird question, out of character, as well. Since it's all we really know is that it's an arcane book that you can kind of read.
Yes, I can read portions. Yeah, I can
Right.
get portions.
Would Vora, being an arcane trickster and having some arcane knowledge, also be able to kind of read it? Just out of curiosity?
Nope.
Okay.
No, remember, she's super smart.
Right, yeah, that one. Okay, I was just curious because, yeah, I mean, because I don't really know. Okay, fair enough.
What's that?
I said fair enough. Okay. It was just sort of a weird out of character question that
Yeah. No,
sort of
no
jumped into my head all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
No,
But okay.
it's fine.
Well,
So yeah,
anything else?
I'll just kind of say, and for my contribution, I'll throw into the party fund. I mean, and if we're going to use a party fund, I want to make it very clear that the party fund will be used for food, beverages, lodging, any funds, any expenses that come up as a party. Feel free
Yeah.
to keep as much as you want on you, as long as we can pay our expenses, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you want to do any large scheme things, then we'll.
Use that instead. Or if it's something that the entire party decides on.
I will say, there might come a time when I'll need to ask for donations for magical items that I might try to create for us. We'll talk about it, obviously.
Yeah.
We all know I'm already making a few things, trying a few things, so we'll need party funds for that as well. So we'll need, but yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as it's one of those things where, all the party decides, like let's say we want to get Vorkus a new set of armor that maybe gets put on, that he can put on faster, and we all decide as a party that's a thing.
Mail, right?
What's that? I know.
You do realize he has plate mail, right?
I know. But like if we ever wanted to like enchant it or something like that as a party, it's, deciding that, hey, needs an extra like bit of gold, as long as we all decide, I think that's fine too. Yeah.
All should have a hand up that is party notes, funds, plans, miscellaneous. Use this to calculate the party fund, work at anything, leave notes for yourselves, just so you and I know what you're up to.
Okay.
We can get Vorkis some boots of haste. That will help him put his armor on quicker.
So you'd have to trouble putting the boots on.
So after Sarthexra, she throws 20 platinum into the bag of holding for the party funds, and after she's done, she looks over at Vora, and she's like, I know you just met up with us again. I know these guys don't really know you, but is there anything that you'd want to tell them, anything about yourself that they might need to know if they're going to travel with you?
I mean, other than I would probably say that there just seems like there's been a lot of distrust lately by the way you were all treating one another. And if you're going to be a party, then you might as well look out for one another because nobody else is going to do it. And I really didn't have anybody else to look out for me. And I certainly don't know anything about myself or my past, so kind of just taking it a day at a time. And this seems like an adventure that's worth taking, so might as well take it together.
I will say, in combat, regardless of how we feel about each other outside of combat, we usually had each other's backs when it came to throwing down.
Yeah, that's the great equalizer for us. When it comes to combat, we'll keep each other alive. We might act a bit like that dysfunctional family outside of combat, but throw a giant our way, we'll mess it up one way or another. Or an army of skeletons, or a bone snake, or that abomination, or rabbit. Yeah. We've
All
managed.
of those at once.
I would suggest not throwing your sword at any more.
I recognize that. I will take that under advisement. There's a reason why I have a lot more javelins with me these days.
I
It
will say
helps.
it did work.
It did. I'm surprised that it did, but, it did.
I think we were all surprised.
I say so, Metal Man, Mr. Tin Man Group himself.
Hold on. I have a question for Vora. Vora.
You only get one a day.
Fair enough. Well,
Make it good.
Vora, if
you
you're
have a
joining
children?
us, and we'd be glad to have you. I understand you don't necessarily know where you came from, and you're going day to day, and that's fine. Is there any particular goal that you want to do? You know, a thing that you want to do, or information you want to find, or anything like that? Because
Yeah, I want to meet my people. I want to find out where I come from or why I even came into existence. And figure out why, what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I just, I feel like I was just here. I don't have any goal. I don't have any purpose. I don't have any, it's just every day is just trying to stay alive.
well, hopefully it'll get a little bit better than that.
And with a giant robot, it makes it easier.
I don't know about that, but trust me.
I can just climb up you if I need to stay alive.
Yeah, the problem is that if you ever want to be discreet, I am not the person to have next to you. I know you're
but I
not. Well, we'll see.
I can vouch and say that any other member of this party is not who you want to have next to you when you're trying to be discreet. from experience.
Yes,
if I
this
remember
is true.
correctly, Mr. Karen over there, you benefited by a diamond and a castle deed by my clumsiness.
Something like that.
Yes, your clumsiness. I had to catch that diamond.
Yes.
Exactly. If I wasn't clumsy, you wouldn't be able to have a diamond to catch.
This might be something to talk about
I
later.
was looking for things.
Well,
I
I
just
guess
kind of
it's,
look at Vora when she was saying what she was saying. I look at Vora and I'm just like, well, you know, if you travel with us and you come with us, we'll be able to, as a group, have more opportunities to learn more about who you are and what you are and where you came from. And we'll just have the protection and the finances and the know-how to go about looking for those things.
I've got contacts in interesting places. They might know something.
you never know what you can find for information at a temple. You'd be surprised.
So long as I can help, that's why I'm here.
Well, at this
Find out
point, I
what I
think
can.
it's best for all of us to potentially help out each of us help out each other a little bit. So, if I find anything out, I'll tell you for sure.
And it's time to look back at Argus. So
Suppose that
there's
brings
a
it to
blue
me.
crystal inside of you, huh?
Apparently,
That crystal.
I haven't really seen it myself much.
Can I try to get a look at it?
I would prefer not
He
right
wants
now.
to touch you.
Oh, okay.
Maybe in the future.
Can I touch you?
No, please, no.
Okay.
I guess I won't bore you with my entire life. No. I won't bore you with my entire life story, but the simple way to put it is, I was growing up as a hunter in a small village, and I met a beautiful sorceress, and we were engaged to be married, actually, and there was a calamity. Some of you may or may not have heard of it. Out of character, totally blanking on the name of that town. Sorry.
Coronel.
All right. Yeah, Cornella. There was a calamity in Cornella, and the simplest way I can explain it is I was possessed by something. I don't know what. All I know is that it was evil. And I became its willing, well, not so willing, but unable to fight back pawn. Supposedly it had taken my fiancée captive as well, and for quite some time, I'm not exactly sure how much time, it was all a blur, but for quite some time I I was a bit like you, Karen. I was an assassin. I was sneaky. I cut down the enemies of whatever it was that controlled me. And at one point, I was sent to a city that had an artificer who was working on constructs of some kind. I think, well, if you look at me, you can kind of see what he was working on. And I was ordered to capture him. And
You look oddly familiar from that really bad Iron Man robot in the first movie.
something like that. But suffice it to say, I don't know how. I can't explain it, but for some reason I stopped. I regained control of myself for just a moment, and instead of capturing the artificer, I killed him to keep the knowledge from whatever evil entity had controlled me. And in return, the rest of the party that I was with killed me. And while I was lying there dying, I remember this beautiful woman covered in dragon scales with wings telling me that I had a chance to atone for the things that I had done. And I almost said no. But instead, I took the deal to save, or hopefully save, my fiance. And now I'm here. That's kind of the cliff notes. However, there is a bit of a development since then, obviously. While we were on the boat, I sent Nyx here to try to find her. And I'll look over at Karen and say, this would be Sarian, and thank you for gathering what information you could. She's here in the city. I know where, sort of. But as I called Nyx back to me, something grabbed her and said, stay away. So now I'm not 100% sure what my next move is.
Between what Vora told us and that, I mean, it seems like something's definitely going on here.
I agree.
Prepared for anything.
I agree. But that's the sort of short end of it. All I want to do, I almost don't care about the evil. I just want to make sure that Sarian is safe. That's all that matters.
And I look over at Vorkus and Intraconic. I say to him, how about you, Dragon Boy?
Well, if I say in Draconic, all of us are going to know, we should probably speak in a language they can understand.
I look at them and back in Draconic, I just say, ooh, them? Nah.
Well, they were so open about sharing their backstory. Why would I hide it from them?
I say, that's very wise coming from you. Go. Logic.
Just blanket.
You guys
Sorry.
have no idea what was said, by the way.
Yeah, but I could probably tell a little bit from the tone that it was a bit condescending on your end.
Yes.
I just shoot you a dirty look.
I did my normal you're being condescending look that everyone is very familiar with.
Fair enough.
And I switch back to common and say, well, that's all well and done, I guess. I guess about me, not much to know. Don't know who my parents are. Don't want to know. I had to fend for myself growing up. A lot of people beat me up. I had to learn to fight to survive. Once I was old enough to at least pretend to be old enough to fight, I joined the army. Fought there for 5 years. Fought all different kinds of foes. Learned how to use my longswords. I specialized in 2-weapon fighting. Afterwards, I did what I did best in civilian life, what I did in the military, which was defending other people. I found my dream job with some asshole elf that I even learned Elven for. Hurts my soul every time I speak in it. I was my dream job, and then I apparently got too close, or he was into something he didn't want me knowing, because he stabbed me in the back and left me for dead. If it wasn't for some random woman cleaning her undergarments down the street that knew how to bandage me, I would still be in that street or 6 feet under, who knows. And now I wandered the streets beating up bullies. There you go.
Beating up bullies.
That's me.
So, how much would you charge for such a thing?
And why haven't you beaten Sarth up yet?
So to say, I would hire you to fight Argus for me.
I just, you say that, I'll look over at Vorkus and say, well, we didn't get our match anyway.
Not too keen of beating up girls. I charge a higher price for that.
Fair enough.
And we could negotiate a deal, sure. But if this whole exercise is to building trust, I don't think hiring a vigilante to beat up your friends in the same room's not the wisest
probably fair.
exercise.
As you say that, I look over to you and I'm back in Draconic. I just say, "Oh, honey, the fight be over before it even started."
Anyway.
I say comment. I'm glad you've got trust in me. I think. I don't know. Anyway, there's some people that
Is
are
there
on the
anything in?
shit list.
Is there... Okay, yeah.
If I see them, you'll know it. Otherwise, it's none of your business.
So now that we've learned a little bit about each other, what do we want to do? Where do we want to go?
I think we should
There are
find.
things that I'm sure each of us individually want to get done.
Yeah.
What should we do?
I think we should find Argus's hot girlfriend.
Well, she
Seconded.
was here the other day. I don't know what'll happen. I'd like to... I would appreciate the help for sure, but before we do that, I think it's best if we spend some time and actually maybe upgrade gear, or... I don't know what we'd be going into, but whatever grabbed Nyx, I feel is likely very powerful. And
Sure.
I'd rather, considering this touching moment, I'd rather not lose any of you right away. But I would appreciate the help. Perhaps, Karen, I know you're likely to go and try to find out information as to the group that's following you. Perhaps you can find extra information, or at least inquire about Sarian, so we at least have a little bit better idea of what we're getting into. It could seriously help.
I'm sure I could manage that.
I say, yeah, I kind of want to go shopping myself, but I really don't think we should split the party up. I mean,
I think at a minimum,
with everything
groups
we've
of
heard,
two.
Between with what Vora said and with what you said,
Yeah, I agree.
Nyx is seen.
I think we need to move in a minimum groups of two. Preferably as many of us as possible, but I'm sure that Karen likely won't be able to meet his contacts if the likes of us are following in his
Him and
wake.
Vorkus should do fine together.
Perhaps him
Together.
and Vora, as they are both of the sneaky
Yeah,
type.
that's probably true. Vorkus worked here for a while. Vora can definitely get things done here.
And
I trust Vora.
I have no
I have
reason to
confidence.
distrust Vora either. So I think that if we move in at least groups of two, I think this
Well, there
is
was
our
that one
best
time
choice.
she shot an arrow at the apple on my head, and she missed and hit me in the shoulder. Sometimes you can't trust her. Trust her.
No,
Wow.
I hit the shoulder just fine.
Yeah, the point was to hit the apple.
Well,
I trusted you.
I believe that's neither here nor there. In the end,
Is that
let's
a trust issue, or just you being an idiot for once?
let's make a list.
I had a little bit too much wine that night, okay? It happens.
let's make a list. So we
My
do
math
need to
was
go
right, though.
shopping.
I want to point this out. My math on that shot, 100% correct. Wisdom just wasn't there.
Well, let's make a list of the things that we need to accomplish and then figure out the best way to do it. I think this
In
is...
my head, I start writing in my writer's kit, and then I hand you the paper. And on the paper, it says shop, 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 things, shop, shop, shop.
Number 1 says write a list. Oh, we can tick that one off.
Right. Well, we're working on that one. Karen, I'm assuming you're going to want to get information.
Yeah, you can actually put my name next to one of those shops. I don't mind which one.
All right. So,
I look over at Vora as Karen and Vora leave. I'm like, Vora, make sure he doesn't die, okay?
I still wanted to go to
well,
that
I don't
damn
know that they're
bookshop.
leaving. I'd rather they didn't leave right yet. Let's figure out where everybody's going. So that at least
Oh, well,
if
they're going to do the thing, and we're going shopping.
I would very much like to at least pay a short visit to a temple. It won't take long, but it is something that I need to do.
All I'm
A
saying is the last time...
Robot temple?
All I'm
What's
saying
that?
is the last time a temple was visited, when we split the party up, it didn't go well.
Do
This
they
is true.
have robot temples?
It's not a robot temple, it's a temple of Bahamut, if there is one here in town.
Or robot Bahamut?
I mean, sure.
He is made of platinum.
Here,
He
Claire,
could-
you would know all about the Hummer.
So, if that's a possibility, I'd like to do that. We do need to go shopping. Where are the places that we need to go?
Well, I need a hat. My head's been getting cold recently. I need a hat.
And a muzzle.
Muzzle will be good too.
So, a tailor would be a choice,
I would like
a
to
place
hit
we
a-
need to go.
I would actually call it a haberdashery.
All right then. All right, Karen, where do you need to be?
I like to buy a magical item.
I may
And
join you
then-
there.
I will do my thing.
Okay. The question is, do we go shopping first or second?
First, well, it's a more important thing we gotta do.
Okay. Then I suppose we go shopping first.
I mean, I have a very specific item. If you guys can get that, I can do the other thing at the same time.
What is it?
I would
think I
like
remember.
goggles of night.
I look at you. I'm like, yeah, you can buy those if you want, but I can eventually make those.
Yeah, I need them now.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I appreciate
So-
the offer, and I will take you up on that on future items. But this is a now.
All right, Thunder. So, you bring us to the haberdashery, please.
As you guys
Hat shop.
make your plans, exit the tavern, you hear
Okay.
screaming coming from down the street.
Oh,
A
jeez.
large crash.
Wasn't me.
Instinctively over at Argus. Argus, what did you do this time?
I didn't do anything. So we're outside now? How far away does this sound,
It,
roughly?
people are sort of running in both directions, but mostly it seems to be. We'll say, you're on this intersection here, but it seems to be over in this direction.
Okay. How, I'm thinking distance, roughly.
Rough distance, 75-ish feet away.
I'd like to start moving that general direction and burn a divine sense so that when I hit the 60 feet or whatever, I can at least tell if there's anything weird going on.
I guess I'll take off after Argus if he starts taking.
Well, I'm not moving super fast. I'm kind of wading through the
Yeah, I
crowd
know,
and
but
trying to
we
get a
were
better
just
look.
Walking out of the tavern, talking, and all of a sudden you heard this thing and started running. I'm like, oh, I guess we're going this way.
It's better to at least know what's happening and not have it sneak up on us later. I at least want to get a better look at it.
Yeah. So The phenomena is covered by a row of buildings. Are you going to try and get up to the buildings and see if you can see through it, or just take
I
the
was
next-
going to actually climb out the window of the inn and see if I can go rooftop.
All right.
Alright.
Give
I'll
me-
send
guys,
Nyx. I'll send Nyx along with Karen. Basically, just
Okay.
right next to him.
Easy enough. You can
13.
get on the roof.
Yeah, no, I'll head towards the sound.
Yep. It's,
And we'll
I'll
sort of
run
move
after
around.
too. Yeah, not on the rooftops or anything, just on the streets.
I'll move with Vorkus.
I'm gonna keep close to Vora, actually.
Or what are you up to?
I will probably go see whatever, try to go walk and see whatever it is that's causing all of this commotion. And I figured being so small, I could probably squeeze in between places and maybe get a little closer than other people could.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Uh,
Just probably. You don't have to be rude about it.
I might just say, stay, behind Vorkus and I as we're going, because trust me, nothing clears a path like a like a fighter and a giant metal man.
All right, then I'm just gonna get on his shoulders.
I could
No,
totally-
not quite. I don't want
No,
you
on
on
his
top.
shoulders. You don't get to tell me if I get to
could
do it.
totally make a few explosions here and there, and people definitely.
I
move
have
for that.
rope. Can I make a leash?
Okay.
I'd like to cast Hunter's Mark.
Yes, you can make a leash. If you want to. But for now, you
Would
guys
it
are making
fit
your way.
around? Would it fit around Argus?
It's
Not
just
for
use
very
like a
long.
rope. It wouldn't be too long a leash, but
Make it
yeah.
a lot easier to climb up them.
Would it actually serve any purpose because he's a big metal man?
No, he would just be walking with it, and you could let him carry you.
Actually, it'd be more like dragging. You'd be dragging
Yeah.
on the ground behind me as I move.
But
Alright.
yeah, you guys are just walking towards the street.
Sure.
What's
Yeah.
happening?
Brisk pace
As-
sort of thing, just trying to get an idea of what the heck's going on.
As you get there, you can see sort of an absent circle of people all sort of crowded around looking at what's going on. This building is in shambles.
Oh,
I have Divine Sense burning since the second I heard the scream. Do I notice
Is
anything?
anything on the map? Or
Yes.
Sorry, could you do... Okay, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I
Hold on.
kind of missed it too, but yes.
There we go.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Got it.
I see it.
Okay. So, do I notice anything from Divine Sense?
Fiends, found undead, right?
Fiends, Fae, and Undead. Yes, I believe that's correct.
Yes.
Does it show you direction, shape, anything?
It tells me the number and the... Hold on. Let me make sure that that I've got this correct, but I know it tells me kind of a general sense of where they are. Hold on. I'll read this out. Sorry, I wasn't on the right page because I was looking at something else. All right. Divine Sense. Strong evil registers in your senses like a noxious
Yeah,
odor.
you can say it, yeah.
And good, I can also notice that. I know
That's the
that...
thing, you didn't prepare it, did you?
What, Divine Sense?
No, sorry,
Oh.
sorry, I'm talking to
Okay.
No, he's answering. I'm sorry.
I know the type, Celestial, Fiend, or Undead, of any being whose presence you sense, but not the identity. I can also detect the presence of anything that's been consecrated or desecrated. I know the location.
Okay. So, inside the building, very strong signal of Fiend. There is one.
Okay, inside the building that's kind of gone
That's
crunch.
collapsed, effectively.
Then I'm basically just going to say, there's something in there, it's a fiend. I don't know exactly what to do here. Can I...
As you sort of look around, you notice it looks like something has sort of burst in the front door, and inside you can
Okay.
actually see what looks to be a body inside.
Can I
something-
see the fiend?
No, but you do see something seemingly punches a hole through the roof,
Okay.
tears the roof up a bit more, and then...
Hunter's Mark on it, right now.
All right.
I just want to be able to track this thing.
Alright, I was
Uh,
not paying attention. I apologize, I was helping Tim with something.
see.
It's not really tracking, but I mean, I kind of have a general, you know.
You
yeah.
cannot technically see the fiend, but I will allow the hunter's mark because you know where it is.
Right.
You.
I'd like to
the
cast
whole
it.
to the roof.
All right. Yep.
And you can see it, not see it, but you can feel it fly out of the roof.
Okay. Is it so? It is visible though.
It is invisible.
It's invisible. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to follow along, and I'll just say, does it feel like? Does it kind of feel familiar? Say like when Nyx might have been grabbed.
Perhaps, but you have no way to tell. That's correct.
Okay. I was just thinking through the yeah.
It definitely fits the bill, as far as you know, but you're unsure.
How far away is it?
It's invisible, right? Did we see Argus kind of react to it when he?
Yeah, you can see Argus's reaction.
Can I use Detect Good and Evil?
Sure, you can cast it.
Okay.
Are you gonna cast it?
I think I did right before
Yeah, you
Argus,
clicked it earlier. But...
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
but I didn't want to interrupt him.
Oh, feel free to interrupt.
If you want to get into the sort of circle of absence where people are crowding around, it would be out of range. So unless you want to run in there.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm pretty goddamn mobile. I can move like 90 feet in one go. So, but I have to use all my actions. But
fair enough.
I would
How far ahead of me is it?
This spell works for 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Can I just sort of, as a free action, outstretch my hand and point to exactly where I can sense it, so that everybody else at least knows where it is, and I'm just gonna kind of follow it while moving. And how far away is it from me right now? On a rough scale, how far away is the thing from me?
On a rough scale, it's moving maybe 20 feet above the house. The house is maybe 50 feet away from you.
Okay.
You know, that would be really. I am like shoulders right now.
Okay.
I am.
As you're doing this, you see Vora run through the crowd into the house.
Okay.
And Vora,
I got a question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, go ahead. Complete.
Yes.
Okay. As you run into the house, so to get to the middle of the house, you can see inside the collapsed house there is one body sort of in the middle, and there are two to the side, and you can feel a fiend located directly above you, about at the edge of your sense, with that 30 feet.
Are any of them women? The bodies?
One to the side is a woman, yes.
I will go for that body and try to get it out.
Okay.
Can I, even with disadvantage, can I chuck a javelin at the fiend, hoping that that's gonna become a?
What if you hit me?
It's 20 feet above you, and you're in a building, and it's not. You're fine.
I was gonna do this earlier, but I wanted to let them finish their things. So after the hunter's mark, after the detect good and evil, my character would have seen Argus's reaction and have see Argus staring directly in the sky above this building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would have been he obviously was saying there's a fiend, I can feel it type of deal. I would like to just very simply try to chill touch with disadvantage to see if I can somehow break the invisibility, if possible, if I hit him.
Range on that's 90?
120.
All right. Yeah,
120 chill touch.
Attacks with disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll roll javelin with disadvantage as well, because I'm gonna try chucking one, because I've got a.
I'll say 14. Oh, that's pretty good disadvantage.
Okay. One of those. Okay. So Argus, your javelin actually manages to hit something. As you throw it, you notice it kind of bounce off something.
Okay.
Or not bounce off, but it sort of sticks in, and then it's sort of thrown off.
Okay.
And
they have to make a con save? if they're.
If the invisibility is a spell and it requires.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't, then
It is a spell, but yeah, it's weird. Okay,
if it's an ability, it doesn't require casting. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that. But
Okay.
the javelin does penetrate. It's knocked off, and then the fiend leaves your sense.
Okay.
Nice.
Fair enough. This is when I wish I had fairy fire. I don't.
Like, I don't think I hit anything. There was something there, though. You think?
I
Keep in
know.
mind, it doesn't go away. It just leaves. It flies off.
Yeah. I know it's left. I know it's left. It's not still within my my zone, and I'll just say it's gone. It's out of my range. I
just look over at Argus, and I'm like, Argus, did you sense any more?
I only sensed the one, and it's out of my range now. I think I hit it though.
So you hit it with the javelin?
I think so.
It's very
So
tough.
Would I know
Fair.
because of the hunter's mark? Say, like, if I
You
actually
did.
hit it? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, is it something I would know
you
that
would
I hit?
know.
Yeah. Okay.
You would know.
Yeah, I'll just say I know I hit it.
So theoretically, there's a javelin floating in the air.
It was
No,
knocked
it
off.
fell out. I'm gonna go to where the javelin is and see if I can, at least maybe if there's like blood on it or anything like that. Just try to get any information I can, and I'm gonna say, Sarth, come with me because you're probably better at this and you have more knowledge on the arcane and weird shit.
Can I look for any
while
blood
you two are
spatter?
talking.
Can I make a dexterity check to make sure I don't, like, fall down? Argus saying that?
And maybe that's a constitution.
Make your wisdom save. And as you guys
What am I
talk,
making? What am I making?
Wisdom save
wisdom save. It's not
A
faint.
wisdom save to see if I fall down? Okay.
to see if you faint or not.
Alright.
Hey, you're good.
I'm good.
As you guys are talking, guards begin to rush in after you say it's safe and help Vora with the bodies, taking them out and trying to conceal them from the populace a bit, but for the most part, just trying to rush them over to, I guess, wherever could help.
Would I notice Vora moving the bodies or whatever?
Yeah, no, you noticed her rush in and then run
At least saw
into
the
building.
I'll call out to Vora and say, "Are any of them alive?"
That's a hard no.
Are any of them
Okay.
alive?
Okay, yeah.
That's a hard
So
no.
hard
Okay.
says.
Well, that's fair.
We're
It
very
was
No
worth an
one,
ask.
but they'll make a good supper.
Oh God.
Is
All
there
right,
any,
so
like,
I'm gonna look for the javelin.
Is there any like chance of just trying to see if there's like a blood trail on the roof or something like that?
Give me a perception check, and Argus, as you go to grab the javelin,
Mm-hmm.
it does seem to have something on its tip. It's
Okay.
kind of purple-ish.
Okay. I'll grab it. I'm not gonna. I'm only gonna. I'm gonna. Is like the bottom of the javelin like doesn't have anything on it? I assume it's just the tip.
Nope, it's just the tip.
Okay. I'll grab it and I'll sort of hand it over to Sarth and say, "Any ideas?"
Kind of look it over, and then I kind of look over at Vora, and I'm like, you may have done something related to this previously. Can you look over the substance and use any kind of like skills you learned, survival skills that you've learned throughout your life, and see if there's anything wrong with this particular liquid?
If it's a fiend, just out of curiosity, would a religion roll help at all?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna roll it anyway, just to see if like any of the religions that I know of might employ anything that this might remind me of. I don't know.
Would this be nature or survival, by the way?
That didn't go well.
Would this roll be nature or survival?
I would figure, in the case of things relating to fiends, fae, celestials, and all that, would be Arcana.
Okay.
To track the thing afterwards would be survival,
And
but
I
to
have
actually
advantage
know
on
what
that.
it is would be Arcana.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I was just thinking is it a poisonous type of thing? I don't know. I wanted to see if it was like nature or survival in that aspect. But if
you
I
want
can
to
Arcana
determine
it,
like what it is, it would be Arcana. If you want to determine if it's poisonous, if it's what it might do, that would be nature. Yes.
oh, okay. Well, then if I can Arcana it, then I wouldn't have said that thing to Vora, and I would have just taken a look at it.
That way Vora can get back to the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Making
just
sure-
stop
making
for a
sure
minute.
Making sure they're
Proper dead.
Thunder, you just straight up saying they're dead, right?
Yeah.
Damn, nice
Okay.
roll.
Not like
That was impressive.
incapacitated,
Let me put it
possibly under
this
something.
way. One guy has bones sticking out of his back. One guy has no arm, and one guy has 2 of his legs thrown off.
Okay, they're just dead.
They are hard dead.
Okay.
Oh, just 2 of his legs?
Are
Not
you
all
sure
of
they're
them?
not faking?
Can
What
I
about
make
his-
a bone sculpture
what about
out of the
his
bones
third?
laying around?
Where's his third leg? He doesn't have that either? Man, that's just a bad day.
Boy.
Alright, so I rolled a 24 for the arcane on the... I assume maybe blood.
Okay. Well, certainly fiendish. It is. It seems to be. I guess from what you can discern, it definitely feels like it's. I don't know if it's.
Perhaps part of the devil family would be.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
it seems to be part of the devil family rather than a demon.
Okay.
Just from the composition, and it seems to be a very it from what you can tell, it's relies less on muscle than swiftness.
What color is the the chunk, so to speak?
It's purple.
Okay, and is it it's definitely skin on at least one side, so we can kind of get an idea. Okay.
Can I ask around and see what this house was before it got destroyed? Was it just like some random house that people lived in? Was it a governmental
That's a really
building?
good idea.
I want to like ask around and see what this building was.
Asking around, people say that it was just a general store. It wasn't anything suspicious.
Damn,
Yeah,
could have had a
like,
good deal.
Like they sell torches and rope and like
Yes,
just random stuff. Okay.
That's its business.
Okay.
Well, I think
Charles
we should
Bronson always
move
says
on from here. Just keep our eyes peeled. Try to go off with our plans, maybe. I don't know. That's
Billy
weird.
was,
It's tough.
Karen was gonna see if he could see a blood trail, and I'd like to try to assist or make a roll as well, as I do have advantage because of Hunter's Mark, at least for the next hour, to at least know what direction hopefully it went off in at a start. So.
Right. Karen, with your perception, you can see definitely some sort of. You see basically on a roof a few streets over, like rather big sort of puddle almost of this strange purple goo, indicating that it was probably there to land, maybe patch itself up, lick its wounds, and then it seems to be gone. But one thing you notice, actually, with that 18 perception, as you're looking around at the site of the attack, you see on one of the destroyed planks what seems to be etching in the wood, reminiscent of a thieves' marking, but it's too destroyed to tell which one.
Okay. Like near the puddle?
Hmm.
Or in
Not
the...
near the puddle, but in the destroyed house.
Oh, okay. So this was potentially a site for either a fence or something else.
Yeah, somebody, potentially.
Okay.
Visible devils.
So this, I can probably deduce that this place was targeted for some reason.
Okay. So I guess.
Invisible creatures is above my skill level, unfortunately. I don't
Yeah.
have enough knowledge to combat these things effectively.
I think.
I'll climb down from the roofs and let everyone know that there was a puddle, but no other signs of the creature.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn around and say, well, if we're dealing with fiends, and from what you said, Sarth, part of the devil family, I think the visit to the temple just went up a rung on my list of things to do. You never know.
Let's see if we can hit any magical shops on the way to the temple.
I agree.
Nice to have a couple of things in our pocket if we can.
Let's try to stick together as best we can, and
Yeah, we'll worry about talking to friends of Karen's.
in a little while, yeah.
We have pressing matters now.
And don't forget to pray to the Reddit gods.
What about God?
That's
Ribbit
still,
God, I like it.
Actually, I've got a question. Karen, would you have a general sense of where you would need to go to get information yet, or no? I don't know how you work.
not really. I've never been here. I'm going to have to spend a little bit exploring, looking out for the usual spots.
Okay.
I mean, I know you said don't split up, but
Groups of
I don't
two
think
at
it'll-
least is a really, I think at this point.
I think we honestly should visit the temple together.
How about this? I think this might be our best bet, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. That's fine. We know, Karen, you need the goggles, whatever they are. And we need to go and stop by some places. You also need to get information, which is fine. At this point, I'm gonna grab Nyx, and I'll sort of hand Nyx over to you, Karen, and say, take good care of her, but this way, I can at least tell what's going on with you, and she can be quiet and out of the way. Does that work for you? She shouldn't be a problem.
that's fair enough.
Okay, so if you and Vora go together, because the two of you should be able to move quickly and quietly, and we meet up at the temple in, say, how long do you think it'll take you?
I mean, no offense to Vora, but this is kind of the thing where, have you ever been part of an organization like that?
Well,
I've never really been part of anything for long.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to flow.
would
I
I
mean,
mean, I do a lot of jobs around town. I know a lot of people.
you might be
he
able
does
to,
know
Okay.
some of the language. He has used it before.
Yeah.
He
and
knows how to talk your language.
Vora, you've been here before, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you maybe know where a few of the contacts might be and be able to help out in that general direction?
I'll do a quick thieves' cant where as I'm talking, I'll raise my left eyebrow, and that's an indication to kind of invert my sentence, and that's what I'm truly telling you. And then if you notice it, then I'll be like, oh, okay, you know the lingo.
Yeah, if you would potentially know that? I don't know how rogues work.
If you have thieves' cant, which you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if the two of you go, I just don't think it's a good idea for any of us to be alone for now. Especially
No,
not right
nobody
after that.
will. Nobody
So-
should be alone.
Yeah.
Well,
Whoever's
Vora's
most comfortable coming can come. I don't care.
clearly spoken to me. That's fine. And
Okay.
you guys wouldn't have noticed anything really.
Right. So you two head out that way. We're gonna
You guys
go.
are just playing the circle game.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
have any attachments to this town.
We're just playing the circle game. All of a sudden, one of them gets punched. It's like,
Right. So if you two go and try to pick up as much information as you can, how long do you expect that will take? Just a rough
Well,
guess.
Well, I mean,
Vora
like,
knows
honestly,
the way around, I guess.
it would be the Heritage Inn. So how far away would that be? Like, I don't know how big this city
Yeah,
actually is
Dijon,
mathematically.
10. I think that's a little ways away, but
It is fairly large. I have scaled the measurements to as accurate as I can find.
Okay.
Where do you need to go?
It would be 10, so the top left compared to where we are now.
oh
Miles
geez, you
away.
guys got to move ass, huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
unless we can just pick a random place, that's fine.
We could head to the slums. They're literally
it's
like down the road.
Say that. Go to the Undertown slums.
Yeah, 17, 16, that kind of
17,
area.
yeah. We'll go 17.
Would 2 hours give you enough time? I don't know.
Probably, yeah. That's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Where's the
That should be
where
it.
would
That
the
should be fine.
temple
Won't take
then
long
be?
once we get there.
The temple, if
Roughly.
you were to like ask around, nobody would
Yeah.
really have any comments about telling you. Temples typically lie in the northern section of the town.
Okay, so
Are there magic shops on the way there?
Yes.
everything is on the way there. To be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anywhere in particular that we'd be wanting to go to, so that I kind of have a generalized direction here, like towards
Well, if we got a
1
few
or
hours to
towards
spend, I
10?
It's whatever one you want to go to, whatever temple you want to go to. But as far as
Well-
shops is, I think we should just do a general shopping and
I'm
I
gonna
agree.
do
need
some browsing if we got time.
I'm gonna need 100 gold for the party information fund.
I just got a laughing for her, and I walk over, and out of the bag of holding, I pull out 10 platinum, and I hand it to her.
Fair enough.
That was just a joke.
I still hand you the 100 gold, or the 10 platinum. I hand him 10 platinum out of the bag.
You better put it to good use. Okay.
I mean, if you guys are heading to...
If we're headed up that direction, if we're going to
Yeah,
be
I
at
trust
10
her.
eventually, right?
That's right.
What do you
I
say?
mean, we can head slums and then head to 10 anyway.
Okay, how about
Yeah,
we
let's just
all
head
head
to
down
some-
to the 10?
It's more it would be more appropriate. for
Let's
the
all
situation.
head down to the slums. You two can split off and do whatever it is you need to do, and maybe there's a flea market there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because it looks like we're still talking about like we'd still have to ferry across the city, so we'd have to do that.
Or
together,
take the
I'd say.
roads through the
There's
little
a
island
bridge.
there.
Bridges through the islands, but
Oh,
yeah.
are there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, head
So,
past
like, close
8
to
and 9. So
Okay.
All right.
Okay, then
So we'll
whatever.
do that. I am terribly sorry, guys. I need to just take a couple minutes break to go and take
Go
meds.
for it.
So
We'll do shopping.
I'm gonna do
We'll
that.
Shopping without you.
Yeah, I won't be long.
All right, Thunder. So on our way to temples. And
I'll take a
past-
minute break too. I don't have anything on my shopping list. I'll be right back.
Okay. And we start walking past some of these magic shops. I'd like to peruse. What do my eyes find?
All right. So yeah, most of the magic shops are around this area.
Sure.
As you're sort of walking off the bridge, which is the northern part of the town or the city, you start seeing shops that hold more interest to you. You see, a couple potion shops, some shops that seem to sell trinkets. You find somebody who seems to be some sort of arcane blacksmith, and you find a rather extensive scroll shop. Like it's Julian's Library. It's called. It's
Can you give me the book, please? Yeah.
Hmm?
No, that I wanted to look up my player's handbook. I wanted to look up spells. So yeah, I'd like to walk into any shop that potentially has items and trinkets and that type of a store. I will leave the potion stores. I'll walk past those. Yeah, I'd like to look for like an item-ish store that may have magical things.
yeah, you find one. It's easy enough. And as you walk in, it's sort of set up kind of like a jewelry store. You've got items set up in displays around the center and the edges of the store with sort of accounting behind them. Wherein you see a high elf, seemingly just sort of waiting there. As you come in, he says, "Hello, hello." How
I
have you
nod.
been?
Good. I just like, can you give me a quick synopsis of what you may carry? I'm interested in a wide variety of things.
Of course. As he scrolls through, he says, I tend to arrange these by uh, school. So we have uh, small evocation trinkets, and things to help the novice evoker, conjuration, illusion, transportation. We have several small devices that could help you with your needs. What are you looking for exactly?
Uh, I'm kind of a window shopper. I fall in love with things sometimes, and they just fall into my hands, and I buy them. So I'd like to know. Impress me. What do you got?
I see. Well, we have many a small trinket that might interest one such as you. What do you find interesting? What is your thing? What is your gimmick?
I look at him and I smile, and it's kind of like an evil smile too. Like you get the creeps when you stare. I just smile and I say, necromancy.
Oh, are you from around here?
Wrong question.
Yes, yes, of course. Well, there's not much in the way of necromancy here, or much in the city. I have a few trinkets, I suppose. I have. What do I have? And he begins almost like searching through the back, like drawers in the back of his would be sort of back counter, trying to find something that would perhaps interest you. And he pulls out. It seems to be some sort of a locket that is shaped like a skull. And when he hands to you, he says, "Minor trinket, of course. It's it's a called the locket of what once was. Stare into it or
Okay.
show it to any unfortunate soul, and you can witness moments of when they were still functioning."
Interesting. It's odd for sure. Um,
Is that?
I kind of nod, and I'd like to walk around the store myself.
Mhm.
Do I see any? I'm sure it's not like labeled what they might be, but using my high intelligence and arcana, I just want to like quick glance, maybe find a few key characteristics about certain items as I walk through.
Yeah.
I'll just roll it and see if I.
You see rings upon rings, each of which seems to have a different function. You see several different uh, amulets, a few, uh, I guess, brooches that seem to offer different types of protection. You
Do I
see
see any? Do I actually see any wands?
wands. There is a small rack of wands, sort of in the corner. They seem to be of all different types of scrolls, except necromancy is notably missing. Uh, Ones that feature symbols of illusion, evocation, even conjuration. Heavily featuring transportation, but necromancy seems to be something he is shying away from.
Okay. Um, do I see any like weapons as long like along the lines of like a scepter or a wand that might be used as an actual weapon instead of a spellcasting thing?
You do see on the same rack as the other ones. One with a one with a steel tip and a sort of conjuration symbols on it.
Can I look back over my shoulder at the shopkeeper? What exactly is this one?
I call it the wand of many arms. It sort of takes it off the wall, flicks it around a bit, and flicks it. Out comes the blade of a straight sword. He flicks again, a dagger. Again, an axe.
Okay, that's
not
kind of cool.
But like, you know, proper shaft with the axe head on top. He sort of wields it. He says, "I'm not proficient in such things, but very handy for a warrior, I'm sure."
Yeah, if only they could understand how to use such magics, it'd be easier. We could outfit them all with items like these.
Yes, well, it serves a few more foolhardy intellectuals some good.
So, I have one last question for you.
Yes.
I'm looking for some boots, but I need these boots to be able to levitate. Do you have anything along those lines?
Boots of levitation. Boots of levitation. He scrambles around a bit, looking for something. He pulls out a sort of pin that has sort of two wings on it, like almost like, you know, wings
Aviator's
as in
pin?
the Air Force, like
Yeah, aviator's pin.
yeah. Puts that on the table and says, "This might provide what you're looking for. If you were to pin this and then by ritual seal it to an item, it would allow that item to become lighter than air, as you say, levitate."
So you can make any item levitate.
Well, yes. It would take time to undo such a bonding, but once it's free, as it is now, it would take only a small moment to bind it to any item. And
So essentially, out of game terms, to unattune, you can then
it would take an
reattune
action to bind it to an item.
action to bind it, and you'll have to spend the time to unattune it.
Yep.
Okay. I say, okay, that's very interesting. How much would you like for this?
How does 220 sound?
220 gold.
Yes.
I kind of stroke my white hair quickly when I answer it. And I want to reach into my bag of holding. I'm going to pull out the half-finished bottle of wine that Karen stole from the Duke.
Oh, jeez, that thing.
He thought I drank it all. I did not. I have half a bottle of it left. And it is some really, really fine elven wine. I don't remember the name because I'm stupid, but I'm going to hand it to him as well. And I was like, that sounds like a fine price here. Enjoy this very fine elven wine that I have. So thank you. 220 gold. A pin.
He just sort of like, he puts the pin down and then looks at the bottle a bit. Just like, this is... I'm not sure how you expect to pay for such an item with this, ma'am.
No, I hand him the gold too.
Oh, okay.
Sort of
no,
as a
I'm giving
gift.
it as extra, as like a gift.
Right. Oh, right. So, yeah. He hands over the pin and says, "Generous, ma'am. Thank you for your patronage."
The wine probably was like 300 gold for a
Yeah,
full bottle.
initially, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask about two things very quickly. The first would be, do you have anything that, say, could light up or show an invisible target to me? Something like fairy fire or something along those lines?
Ah, yes. 2 seconds. He ruffles around in his, not even ruffles around, he just sort of goes to a different section of the counter, points to what appears to be a monocle, and
Oh.
sort of pulls it out from under the counter and says, "This will. Most of us use these such things to help navigate our way in the dark, but I suppose it could be used to track someone.
Even when they're invisible?
Of course."
I kind of look over as they're talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that breaks their invisibility. If you can connect it on them. But if I know anything about this fairy fire ability, it's more, has more of the druidic ways in it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an area effect, well, you don't have to see your target, so that would be
That's
beneficial if you
that's
have-
sort of what I'm going for.
Yeah, great
I
idea.
need to be able to light up a target for more than just myself, if possible.
He sort of takes the monocle and says, "Try it on for a second."
Okay, I'll try it on then.
Yeah, so you put
Famous
it over
last
your
word.
and you notice
Mhm.
The shopkeep, and if you were to turn around, Sarth would be outlining, or rather would be outlined in red.
Okay,
And then if you were to take it off, they're still outlined to you.
okay.
However, only to you.
Okay, yeah. Would this, should we, let's pretend, or hypothetically say that we had an invisible something
So
here.
wait, how does this item work real quick?
Would I be the only one that would be able to see the outline, or would the rest of my companions be able
Like-
to see it as well?
Is it only when he's wearing the thing that we see it?
Well, if there was somebody hypothetically invisible, it would outline them for you, and I believe that would break their invisibility.
Okay.
At least so long as you have it equipped.
Well, I'm going to table that for just a moment because I do have one other question. Is there any chance that you have, say, something that could change my appearance? I'm sure you can guess that I tend to draw the eyes of many people as I go wandering, and I'd sometimes prefer to not do that, if possible. Basically, what I'm looking for is something that could potentially, say, cast probably alter self, or even, I suppose, even disguise self, but preferably alter self because a giant metal man. Just for a short
yeah.
time or something.
He looks around a bit and says, "I believe so." He looks over once again, grabs what seems to be a brooch with a sort of a faceless man on it. Not a faceless man, but a face with very sort of generic features. Basically, a blank mask.
Mm-hmm.
Moves over to you. Sort of tries to put it on over your. Well, you're wearing a cloak, right? So
Yeah, I'm always wearing that cloak, so.
Yep. Puts it onto the cloak and asks you to take full.
Okay, so
Think of a form.
I'll probably just think of, I mean, because it would come to mind, instantly. If he says that, I'd probably take the form that or at least a close approximation to what I used to look like, so to speak. So, about 6'2" half elf with shock of white hair and blue eyes.
Mhm.
That sort of thing. So, I'm assuming that happens, or do I grow inside, or like actually shrink, or?
You do take the form of the person you would like to transform into, your old self.
Mm-hmm.
However, you notice that A, the roach is still there. It's
Okay.
still pinned to you. And B, you still it doesn't really feel like you're in your old body.
Right. I still have the same feeling as I did
Yes.
before. So, out of character, would this be essentially disguised self, or
Yeah.
is it? Okay. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay. So, how much for these two items, friends? If I may ask.
Well, well,
So, Tim just asked, because I actually don't know. I don't know it offhand. Disguise self doesn't change size.
It only
it can make
changes
you
your size
seem
by.
smaller.
Yeah.
It can make you seem smaller, but if your disguise self to be smaller and somebody throws something over your head, it would hit you.
Yeah.
Or
I think
That's what I meant,
it can
yeah.
make you seem a foot taller or
right, so
shorter,
you
but
won't
that's
fit
it.
in the smaller places or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, it's sort of like a hologram sort of deal, but it's
Okay.
weird.
Similar,
Okay.
if you were shorter and disguise self to someone taller, if somebody tried to like rough up your hair, they would just feel nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Yep, that's fair. That's a good question because that's something I should probably know too. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can seem 1 foot shorter or taller, and 6'2" is 1 foot shorter, I think.
Yeah, just about.
Uh,
Actually, I think
actually,
exactly.
it's
So,
exactly. Yeah, that's how tall he used to be. Okay. Yeah. So I'd ask about how much for the two of them, or individually, how much would they be? I may or may not take one of these. We'll see.
Well, Brooch is going to come in at a rather large sum, approximately 350.
Okay. And the monocle?
The monocle even more so.
Of course.
Uh, you see, it's made with very rare materials, and
Understood. How
well,
much?
it's not. Well, it doesn't have unlimited charges. It's certainly special.
Right.
I would have to put this at 4,000.
Hmm. Yes, I suppose that's something I cannot do. No. I suppose thank you for your business. I would have been interested in the brooch for sure. Unfortunately, that's a price I cannot meet either. And I'm just gonna kind of like start to like half turn away.
Well, perhaps there could be some sort of trade. If you are desperate for these items, of course. Sort of.
I'll just say, wait one moment, and I'm gonna pull Sarth aside for a second. So, yeah, Sarth, we have these 2 extra eyes. I'm not sure if we want to keep the abjuration one. Or perhaps the necromancy. What say you? Because this could become very, very useful, especially going throughout the city. I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. I can't really hide. As Sarth says nothing.
You just left him speechless.
Yeah, apparently.
I think it was my fault. I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
All right.
showing him thing in a book. As we're sorry, you were finishing up and like done.
Yeah. So no, not quite. So Cliff Notes version, the monocle thing.
Yeah, no,
That's-
I caught all of that. It was like right after.
It was like 10 seconds before.
Oh, okay. I basically turned away and said I can't really afford, all this stuff. But the brooch could be useful, especially for us as we're going through the city. A giant metal man just sticks out no matter what. It doesn't matter.
I look at you as you're looking over the item and he's telling you about it. I'm just smiling. I'm not even looking at the item, not even looking at him. Literally just smiling, looking at you. And if you turn meat eyes, you see I'm just grinning at you.
Mind you, I do not look like the giant metal man right now.
I get that. But
Yeah.
you also have no idea I've been making something, so I just smile and
Yeah.
I cast thaumaturgy really quickly, even in front of this dude. He's arcane. Thaumaturgy's divine. When I cast it, I'm just gonna whisper in her ear, like I'm making an alter self item like we discussed.
Okay. Man, this is when I could really use the message cantrip. But yeah, I'm gonna pull you aside and say, I'm still gonna do that, and just say, well, we do have those eyes. Do we want to part with one, or do we want to keep them all?
I think we should keep it for now.
Okay,
You never know
that's
what.
fair. Well, how far? And I'll also ask, how far along do you feel you are? Because it could be
I know
very
I'm
useful
making
going
progress.
through the.
6,
Yeah.
7
I've
months?
never
Right.
gone this far with it before. I know I'm making progress. I will tell you when it's done.
Okay, because I will tell you right now, if this thing, I'm pretty sure whatever it is I hit knows what I am now. It has a very clear picture of what hit it, and not looking like that could be very useful.
I nod. As we're kind of like turning and talking, I kind of turn back towards the shopkeeper really quickly, and I walk back up to him like, actually, one more quick check in your inventory, possibly. Speaking of boots of levitation, the brooch is nice and all. Do you have any boots that kind of sort of, maybe won't burn up if they get caught in a fire type of deal? You try to stab them and no metal could pierce them type of deal. The type of magical things that the magic does to things. Magical boots don't get destroyed.
I have other such items with those properties, but I'm afraid if you're looking for magical wares, then you need to look elsewhere. And you notice his shtick is jewelry and so on. He doesn't really have any
this
boots,
is like the
coats.
trinkets. Okay,
Yes.
I see what you're saying. All right, I nod. I say thank you, and I'd like to walk out. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I'll follow.
And
I don't.
very quickly find.
I can't. I'll say thank you. Perhaps you'll see me again sometime soon.
Give back the brooch, though, right? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Of all people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of me was considering it, honestly, just walking out with it on. It'd be
Sure. So I
interesting.
very quickly make my way to the store they recommended, and walk in immediately. I kind of just walk up and I'm more direct with this owner. I'm like, listen, I'm looking for some boots of elven kind. Please tell me you have a pair left.
Well, I think you're just in time. I do think there's something here that might do. And here you go. Here, there's like it's a rack with boots. Sitting there, sort of looking over them, trying to all the whole process. He pulls out looks just like boots of elven kind.
Cool. I say, those look pretty wonderful, don't they, Argus? Very nice.
Not bad.
Nice boots. Nice boots. Yeah, do you think they look good on me?
I'm not into fashion. You'd have to
How
ask
much,
somebody
sir?
else.
Oh, well, these fine things? Yeah. I have to. I'll hackle you 280.
How much?
I said I'll hackle you 280. 280.
280. I look over at Argus. I'm like, they are pretty new. They are pretty nice boots.
Yeah.
Really don't think
I
they'd look good
suppose.
on me. Silent treatment again, really. All right.
I'm not one for, it's not a question you should bother asking me.
I look back at the shopkeeper, and I was like, apparently he doesn't think they're gonna look good on me at 280. He might
Oh,
think they
nonsense.
look good on me at 250, though.
Yeah.
Do these
nonsense.
boots make my butt look big?
Basically, that's what he's asking, isn't it?
I asked the shopkeeper essentially. He doesn't think they'll look good at 280, but I'm pretty sure he'll think they'll look good at 250.
Would you look okay at 260?
Or I guess would I look okay at 260?
255, perhaps.
It's done.
Deal.
I'm gonna ask him about a Cloak of Protection. I'm just gonna kind of speed through some of this so that we can get to...
Alright.
Is it just these two at the magic shop, or did we all end up going?
We're all kind of around
I think
except for Karen and
Isn't
Vora are off
it
getting info.
Sarth, Argus, and Vorkus there?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so you're there with them.
At
Yep.
this rate, I'm gonna say, excuse me, shopkeep. I'm gonna interrupt their bargaining. It's a bargaining tactic.
Yes?
Do you have any magical longswords for sale?
Ooh. There's a
mean,
magic
nothing-
blacksmith down the road, but I'm
I know.
afraid...
Does the
Not
magical
really.
blacksmith also make magical swords?
Of course it does.
Oh, okay. Well, give me directions to a shop immediately.
Down the road, fifth shop to the left.
Can I tell him you sent me and get some kind of friend and family discount?
He is friend nor family, but he's a respectable businessman.
All right, good enough. Continue with your bargaining.
Yeah, I'm basically just asking about the Cloak of Protection, that's all. And
Cloak of Protection.
just to speed through it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I got you. Cloak of Protection. Cloak of Protection. Yeah, he pulls one up, looks over it, says, how does... well, since you seem to be stingy with the budget, what is your offer?
Oh, start at 100.
Yeah, well, going to have to put you up to... We'll go down from 4.
From 4. Hang on, let me look here. Shit, I don't have that. Okay.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for, like, I thought I had, I'm getting two games mixed up in my head, and I thought I had a piece of loot that I do not have. That was my bad. Alright.
You lose.
Yeah. Start from 400, huh? How about something more akin to, say, 185?
I'll take you to 350.
200?
325.
Well, I can see that we're not really going to get anywhere.
Perhaps not.
It's too bad. I could really use that that bit of kit.
Sort of looks at you up and down and says, are you sure about that?
Oh, trust me. It's a useful thing. It's
Well,
mostly
nice.
just to help me with a freaking intelligence saving roll. And a little bit of AC, but alright, well, I suppose I may come back here as well. Unfortunately, I only have so much.
Did Vorkus find what you wanted?
We're going to the smith, and honestly, that's kind of where I want to head anyway.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys to finish your bargaining.
Yeah.
with him.
I was hoping it would be a better price, so I'll just say, well, I see you run a fine establishment. Perhaps when I've got a bit more coin, I'll return.
last thing I'd do is I'd make a hop, skip, and a jump over to the scroll shop, and I would very quickly just find a scroll of dark vision. Try to buy that.
All right, yeah, that's easy enough. That'll be what, 120?
I don't have my DMG with me, so couldn't tell you.
It's in the price range. It's actually quite low for the price range.
120. I'll take it for 120.
Yeah.
Me to an even 150. All right, scroll of dark vision. Thank you. That's all I want. The other guys can go.
Alright, let's go to the smith.
Yep.
Run to the blacksmith.
Alright.
All right. Going to the blacksmith. Say, as you enter in, you are greeted by a rather warped-looking half-elf who sits up and says, "Ah, good to meet you. Welcome. This is Daniel Arcane Smithery. I am Daniel. What brings you here?"
Hello, Daniel. I'm here to see your arcane smithery.
Oh,
Splint mail.
coming to the right place. What was that?
Armor. Would be very
My-
useful, perhaps.
My friend wants magical splint mail, while I'm more interested in dealing damage.
Oh no, I'm not 100% sure which direction I want to go yet. But yeah. I'm
What-
interested in what you've got.
He just wants to bruise. I just want longswords. Any magical ones?
You go first.
Of many a sort. As you can see, and he sort of points to behind him a rack of weaponry, each with a sort of colored tint to them, or at least on the hilt. I have many of what you're looking for. Most of these are simple enchantments. Many have just been infused with an element. For instance, this one here. He brings out, or he pulls out a long sword with a lightning bolt design on the handle and a blue or the purplish gem at the hilt. And he says, "This has been infused with electricity. It packs more of a punch when used on someone.
I'm more of a fire kind of lizard.
Built one for those two. And what's more, I have taken to the messy, admittedly, art of infusing weaponry with spells.
Mm-hmm.
It can be quite interesting at times."
Does the sword actually light on fire, though?
He sort of puts his, the hand to his chin, sort of taps his chin for a bit, looks around, aha, runs over to one rack, and he pulls out a sword with a sort of orangish red blade, and he wields it with two hands, seemingly speaks some magic word, and the blade bursts into flames.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Is that a great sword, though?
It is.
Oh, that's not great.
I'll
It's
just
not-
ask, how
not
much
great
is it?
sword.
Once does this, it doesn't do anything fancy, but it's no slouch either. I would want to charge 200.
What is it? It bursts into flames. What is exact out of character? What does it kind of do? I'm just
Out of character, these, like his enchanted swords, at least the ones that he's showing you right now, would basically add an extra D4, 6, 8 to a swing
okay.
of elemental damage.
Okay, and so this one's like, cool.
An extra D6 fire damage.
Okay.
Okay, let's look back at the longswords real quick. So I can basically get that for longswords too.
Yeah, wouldn't be too hard.
And how much? So is it just the price difference? What's the price difference between the 468?
4, 6, 8, 6. So it's gonna probably cost you, I'll say 100. No, probably more. 200. D4. It's gonna cost you 100, and a D8 is going to cost you probably around. We'll keep it simple, 300.
What elements does he have? Like for the greatsword? Are there any other ones, or is the fire the only one?
He has got several. He has fire, frost, electricity. He even thinks he has a thunder lying around somewhere.
I'll take the lightning or electricity if that's 200. Could you do say 185?
I don't like bargaining.
That's fair. I'll go 200. Sure.
Pleasure doing business.
Alright, I want the D8 Fire Longsword.
Ooh, looking to pack a punch, are you? Well,
Absolutely.
I can certainly provide. He takes a sword much like the one on the wall, bright glowing red blade, sort of a hilt aligned with sort of flaming decals, seeming like a dragon head on each side of the guard. And he speaks the word of power. The sword bursts into flames.
Okay. Alright, so I'll give him 29 platinum, so that's 290, and then I'll give him 10 more gold.
Okay.
Okay, so that's okay. And then I'm gonna ask quickly about perhaps a set of splint mail. Very, very quickly.
Ooh.
If he has
Uh,
anything along those lines.
Not much. Couldn't get anyone else. I'll see what I have though. And he looks around, checking for some sort of extra protective piece. And he invites you to the back, and as he does so, seemingly tries to get presentable a piece of armor or a splint, as you say, with some special decal on it. And he says, "Got a few like this. They typically defend against a more singular threat. It's only so much you can squeeze into a single armament, of course. These, they're going to cost you.
Okay. Well, how much would it cost me?
A full plate of resistant armor.
Oh, is this full plate or like splint?
It's he has splint. Don't worry.
Okay, because I was gonna say I'm not looking for full plate because that's way outside my budget.
Yeah, a full set of splint armor. You're looking at around 550.
Am I to take it then that these are enchanted?
Of course.
What might they be enchanted with?
Well, resistance.
Okay. Bugger. Alright, well, I suppose that's that, because I can't afford that. I can't even get
shame.
close to that. To be fair, I can get about halfway there. So,
You can buy a normal set of splint, but
can I?
enchanted. Yeah.
Okay. Because all I'd want is actually the normal set of splint sometime. So, I guess we could probably go buy an actual, like, regular blacksmith and do that. And I could just say I run out and grab that if possible. And I'd like to sell my greatsword. My old greatsword.
Okay.
Because I have a lightning greatsword now.
Yeah. You could probably sell it for like 30 gold.
Okay.
Maybe.
The great sword that I gave him.
I'm gonna put pretty much all of that in the.
Gift that I gave. Oh, man.
Hold on, no,
Let-
I'm putting that money in the party coffer. So shush.
Uh huh.
I am.
Let's start to find out. You sold the item she worked so hard to get you.
Yeah, and then
Slaved over, yeah.
yeah, works so hard to get. Yep.
Slaved
Whatever.
over a forge for years.
Yeah, that's the one.
So, while you guys are decking yourselves out, what are... I think you get this.
I'm so-
Am I
so
picking up
sorry.
a set of splint, by the way?
Huh?
I'd like to pick up a set of splint mail, though. If that's, like, just regular splint mail. Not enchanted or anything.
Regular sprint mail, that's going to be PHP price of 200.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that thing.
I do want to apologize, Billy and Tim. I forgot to buy a hat. I still got to do that. Can I do that real quick?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So I want to walk into the hat store. Am I amazed when I first walk in by this hat store? Like, explain this thing to me. Has to be top end.
Okay, so yeah, as you walk into the hat store, you are greeted by rows and rows of stands of all sorts of hats. Top hats, pirate hats, berets, news caps, so on and so forth. Pretty much any kind of hat you can imagine.
Even hats with chicken pox.
Yes. Any kind of hat you can imagine. It's probably on a hat stand somewhere.
Can I? So I want to ask this. Can we just make it a thing though? In this world, you know, the typical witch hat.
Mhm.
Say that that's not a thing at all. Nobody has ever seen a pointy hat.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna look around and I have this vision for this pointy hat. All right, and I walk straight up to the desk of where the merchant is, and I'm like, "You don't have the type of hat I'm looking for."
Well, what are you looking for? No.
I say, "You don't have it." I'm disappointed. How do you not have the vision that I have for this hat? It will become a trend. It will take the world by storm.
If you say so, man. If you're done complaining, are you going to buy anything? Or...
I pull out my writing kit and I lay a sheet of paper down on the desk,
Mhm.
and I start sketching this pointy hat. You know, brim, everything, like actual witch's hat. Okay, and I start labeling the areas for colors, and I say, I want this to be a swirl formation along the whole hat, kind of in a circle, with a white line here, and then on the top of that white line, another red line.
I see.
Can you do this? As I finish the sketch.
It shouldn't be too difficult. I can certainly attempt to adequately portray your vision.
Essentially, if you guys know Where's Waldo, talking about that earlier, it's going to be a Waldo hat, only it's a wizard pointy hat instead of flat top hat. Get it? Okay, got it. Good.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So I say, okay, how long, how much?
Oh, it should take me a couple of days, perhaps, to get the pattern correct. And simple, a visionary accessory like this will likely only cost a few gold. It's custom order, you see.
Deal. And I slap my hand down on the desk. I will be back in a couple of days if I can.
Yes, ma'am. I will have it ready for you.
Don't show it or give it to anybody until I return. Even if I never return. Keep it until your dying days.
Of course, ma'am.
Deal.
Just imagine this tailor having Sarth come in and say all this shit,
Yeah.
and then she's just going, "The fuck is going on?" Seriously.
Alright, I promise I'm done now. I got my hat business out of the way.
Okay.
Please take it off on the next portion with
And the last little thing that I totally forgot is I'd sell the chainmail when I bought the splint mail. I just sell it
Sell
to
the
the dude.
chain. You can
Yeah.
probably get, again, 30 gold.
Okay, that's good. That works for me.
Okay.
All right,
so,
I'm done, and I'll shut the hell up now and go get
I
myself
believe the
another
two
drink.
roguish types were looking for information. Are you guys there? You awake?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, we're
fishing.
here.
Oh, cool.
we're
Cool.
fishing from that whole endeavor.
All right. So where do you start fishing?
I'm gonna buy a lot of pointless shit now just to waste time.
So you're right.
Come on, Vora.
Well,
let's go.
we're just gonna pack it up and go to the undertown slums and get shit done for once.
Yeah. Definitely for you would know just because you've been here before. Undertown is definitely it's basically the poor district, and it's definitely a bit more populated with, the underground.
That's
But yeah,
why it's the undertown. All
perhaps
right,
why
so
its name.
yeah, that's could be why. So we're go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So you're heading down there.
Yeah, we're going down. We're going down.
All right.
So we'll probably go down. I assume we'll go down like a walkway or something down under a
Mm.
cave type thing. We'll get dark and mysterious for a while because that's what they do here.
Probably don't find a cave, but I mean there are
Well, like
entryways in the.
Gutter, I was thinking, or something. I don't know. But probably just go down and look around. I mean, obviously, you said it's going to be a poor district, and wander around the streets for a while, and kind of get the whole feel for what it's like down here. And obviously, I feel pretty comfortable down here since I work down here and work with these people.
Yep.
Just kind of go about my business. Nobody really talks to me, and we go look for a small, we'll say, house. I don't know exactly structure. Maybe if it's underground, it's probably more of a structure with a doorway that would probably lead us into wherever we're going to go.
It's not
and
underground.
it would be
But okay.
all right. I didn't know if it was underground. That's why I was asking.
It's just called Undertown. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go to a building that we would go into to have the conversation we're going to have.
So I guess you're looking for some sort of information dealer.
Yeah, exactly.
Snitch, spy, sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty much just like a hear all, tell all.
Give me an investigation.
Right, exactly.
Give him an
And,
investigation. Page.
Yep.
Investigation.
Yep. Hold on.
And
Am I
Karen, if you want to help, can give
assisting him?
advantage.
So, yeah, I'll assist.
Nice.
All right. Christine, you find
Not
one
bad.
handily. It takes about 20 minutes looking for the correct signs and everything. Slightly different from the ones that you're used to, probably. At least the ones that Karen's used to. Let's see, Vora, you know these things pretty well. You find what seems to be a small sort of hut kind of thing with a sign in front of it that seems to be what you're looking for. And above that, it has another insignia, sort of a marking of a sort of sideways eye, wherein the whites are painted red and the iris is black. And as you enter this place, I assume you do anyways.
Yeah.
You're greeted by what seems to be just a sort of normal living room, except there is a man in a rather large, sort of top hat looking thing, sort of leather jacket of sorts, sitting in a chair in the corner. Sort of looks up at you as you enter. The room is dimly lit with candle, and there are a couple of seats sort of strewn about the place that he sort of gestures towards.
All right, and then we would walk over, sit down with the gentleman, and as a not really as like a payment toward a thing, but like it's like an identification. I take the signet ring out of my bag and set it on the table, and just pass it over to him and say that I need information.
One of your kind. All right. What do you need to know?
I need to know what you can tell me about what's going on here in the city.
And there's a lot going on here in the city.
We both know what I'm talking about.
I suppose.
Okay, what is it going to cost me?
Make sure no one tells, as always. And depending on what I can give you, how does 60 gold sound?
Do you have anything else you might need done instead? You know, I don't usually work in gold.
Hmm.
And
Well,
if that's not an option, we can talk about it.
don't have much in the way of needful labor.
I put down 8 plat, and I'm like, give him the information he needs and a little bit more.
He looks at the platinum, looks at you, sort of. You see him, like, almost reactively squint his eyes, and then he sort of falls back, almost trying not to portray what he's thinking. Leans back in his chair and says, "If
Can
you're
I make
wondering
an
about-"
insight check on that?
Sure.
See if I can glean
I
anything
make
from
an
it.
insight check on that?
Hmm?
I said, can I make an insight check on
Yes,
that?
you can.
You almost done me. Like,
Yeah.
I probably
Okay.
should not have.
Karen knocked that one out of the damn park.
Yeah, no. So you know his type. He's a dealer of information. He buys and sells, and what he's doing is he's never seen you before, but he just learned a lot about you from that interaction, and he's starting to get a few wheels turning in his head. But he is trying to appear innocent, or at least ignorant. As ignorant as he can appear, anyways.
Continue.
Yep. Leans back in his chair, looks to you both, and says, "You talking about the occurrences going on near the coast? We have theories. Not much in the way of evidence. But we got theories.
You've got a lot
These-
more than that.
Oh,
I'm not here for that.
what are you here for?
I want to know what you know about what's really going on here. I didn't come down here to speak to you, to come ask for a favor, just to get the fucking run around the mill about what's going on that I can learn from just walking down the street and asking a couple of people on the corner. So you're gonna have to give me something. I don't want to fucking beat around the bush. You know better than that.
We feel that the magpies and the spiders are innocent, as far as we can discern. This is some unknown force, perhaps tied to the college, perhaps tied to the royalty here.
Which particular royalty?
We believe it to be trying to get the name correct. We believe it to be the son of the no. No. We believe the culprit perhaps to be the son of the Madison family.
Does it have anything to do with a kidnapped woman?
As you say that, Karen, with your insight check, you can at least you can tell he is starting to put some pieces together himself. But as you say that, he says, "Not that we know of, but if you are looking for such a woman, we might be able to assist in that." She was near the port last, but she's been moved around quite a bit, seemingly hiding from someone or something. But so far, I haven't seen any ties to what's going on here in terms of the beast, as the locals calling it. It's funny. I think there's only one.
Can you tell me where I can go, where I can talk to get closer?
Yeah, well, that I believe the spiders might in fact be involved in. It's going against their normal jurisdiction, but we found evidence linking them. and interrogations have yielded little results, but important results. In order to talk to the spiders, depending on how direct you want to be, you'll either need to gain some insight from one of the grunts, or if you prefer to be direct, you'll need to talk to their leader, Maxine.
Would I know where that person is?
You would know how to get to her,
Okay.
but you know that she's also not one to speak face to face normally. You would
Okay.
need something she wants.
What was her name so I can write it down?
Maxine.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a task that's easy to say, hard to do.
Yes, well, afraid there's not much we can do in that regard.
If there's not anything that you can do to help me get me closer, where can I go to get closer? You gotta know somebody. I can get you money. I can get you items. Be quiet about whatever you need. I can do whatever you need. You know that. I need more than this. You're not getting me anywhere. You can just take this platinum and leave.
I'm afraid there's not much you can do unless somehow you could provide insight on whether the college or the houses have anything to do with this. It's something we've been investigating, but I'm
Trying to work out how he can just get me closer. Just trying to push him a little.
Do you at least know the last known location of, and then I'll describe the woman, Argus's girlfriend.
We saw her near the docks. And we also saw the spiders moving her to the middle island.
Okay. Who else operates in the sea apart from the spiders?
Yeah, the magpies typically control the underground down here. There's some of the thugs you probably saw walking around. There's us, the Deadeyes. As far as I know, there's some sort of lone mercenary, assassin. People call him Snake Eyes. There are a few minor guilds and gangs, but the magpies keep them in order, and they probably answer to one of them at the highest.
Do I know Snake Eyes? Whatever he's. I don't know.
His
Like
name
if we
is
run
new to
across
you.
each. Okay.
Is his first name Solid?
Unknown.
Damn it.
Not help.
Could be helping you.
Okay.
But
No, him. Is there any other information that you want?
I would have told Karen before you guys left that I do remember, roughly at least an aerial view of where Sarian is. So I kind of, or at least last remember, whatever. You know what
That
I mean?
was by the docks, if I remember.
It was kind of actually pretty close to where we were.
It would appear she's been moved.
Okay.
He says to you, I can get you some escort. Make sure you're not seen. Make sure nobody really knows you're there. Nobody but us, of course. Only thing is, I like to know your names.
I would probably take Karen to the side and ask if he wanted an escort. I don't see any reason why we can't just do it on our own, personally. But even getting an escort, if we were to take Argus with us, we're not exactly going to get anywhere without being seen.
No, I mean, I've been places with Saf before when we went invisible, so I don't think being seen is an issue.
I don't either.
We're going to be super stealthy about it, or we're bringing Argus, in which case it doesn't matter.
It just seems like an unexpected variable we don't need.
Hmm.
Yeah, you had mentioned there's a difference between being seen and being known.
True.
Yeah, and if he doesn't have our names, then I
We
would
definitely
like to
are
keep
even
it
more
that way.
discreet. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we'll leave that one.
I think we have what we need. I'd say I think we have what we need.
Yeah, possible connections and the last known location of Augus's girlfriend.
He grabs the platinum. Let's just
And I
take care
would
of
say
business.
this conversation never happened as always.
Good.
And then leave. And then we would I would start talking to him to say if he wanted to go to check out the college now or if he wanted to try and get back up there.
I have one more question for him.
Yeah, okay. As we walk up, go for it.
Do you know where I can get hold of any black powder?
Yeah. Go to my buddy Murphy's. He's at oh, what's it called? General Shops and Services. It's the flea market, east of the top there.
Is a shop just called Murphy's?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
You should have what you need.
Awesome.
Then we would leave.
Yep.
Okay, and then I would ask if you wanted to go to the college or if you wanted to meet back up with everyone else.
I think meet with the others, make sure everyone's got what they want, and then relay the information. Plan
Okay.
our next move.
I still want to look for a bookstore though.
That's fine. We can do
I
that.
just need one book.
It's like a mundane
Probably be in
bookstore.
the general goods area, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not going to take an hour to describe.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll head up to the shop zones, I guess.
Yep, that would just 14 basically.
Okay.
Not 14.7.
Cool.
Yeah, just go to 7. You can pick up the book, and that's also where he said Murphy's would be.
Yeah, well, obviously I'll look around for that while we look for a bookshop.
Yep. Easy enough to find. There's an old man working the stand, and you see very small, etched in, almost like under the counter. There is a symbol for illegal goods.
Cool. I head up to the
Seems like
stand.
the right place.
I make the normal gesture of, old friend, what have you got for me today?
Yeah. Got some new supplies. It's very exotic, organic. Basically, code words for deadly and volatile.
Ooh, it piqued
But,
my interest.
Is there anybody like around us?
There are people walking sort of down the street, but nobody in the shop. Well, not really a shop. It's more like those open counter, basically a flea market, farmers market. You ever been to Pike Place? Basically that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I can just like put this in about playing with the whole ring and about what I do and kind of like the whole past thing, but I would say I would use the ring to ask him, put the ring to say obviously what I do and identify who I am more so than anything else. And I would just like lean into him and tell him that we're looking for black powder and any other information that he might have heard about what's going on. Not really make any, just leave it general, leave it open just to see if he talks about anything while he's, deciding whether or not, just like asking for black powder and then immediately go into asking him about what's been going on in the town and if he knows anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Says you might have stuff in the back. Sort of invites you guys to go behind the counter into the back room. Puts up the clothes thing for his shop. Back there, he sorts out the thing with the powder, and while he's doing that, he says, "Don't much know about too much going on. Then you can't learn otherwise. But do know that apparently there's some sort of, I don't know, festival party, something going on. The nobles in the city. I don't tend to pay too much mind then.
too many fancy cups there for me.
I hear you. He hands over the black powder. And he says, "Any plan for this?"
Just a couple of experiments.
Hmm.
I also need some chalk, some charcoal, and a small mirror.
What are you planning? Yeah, probably best we don't know.
If we wanted you to ask, we wouldn't have come here.
That's a fair point. Yeah. He actually just is normal front business. Would probably sell the mirror and the what else did you want?
Chalk and charcoal.
Yeah, mirror, chalk, charcoal. The chalk, it's basically just stuff in the PHB. Chalk, negligible, a copper piece. Charcoal, it's probably something along the lines of 5 copper. Oil, not oil. The mirror, 5 gold. And the black powder is probably going to cost you quite a bit. Maybe 50.
Yeah, that's cool. I do.
Did you get that message?
Call it
Yeah, I did.
call it a nice even 60 gold all in.
Is this guy like a guy that just has odd illegal things, or is he just a guy that can get you things that you can't normally get? Because like I can work the whole book thing into this guy if you want.
He just kind of he collects stuff and sort of puts it out there.
Okay.
On the off chance, do you happen to sell any goggles?
Oh shit.
Particularly ones that help you see in the dark. I had a feeling my companions forgot something. The one thing I asked them to do. I just have this weird feeling they didn't do it.
Not
I
that
didn't
much
have enough
water
money.
comes out my mouth when I talk.
Huh?
Yeah.
Not that much water comes off my mouth when I talk.
Not you.
Whoops.
You know, I asked them to get one item for me. Just one little item.
I was buying a hat though, man.
Yeah, his hat is in fucking 10-minute discovery of life.
That was the last shop you went to.
I'm sorry, man.
The hat is code word for
The,
goggles night.
the goggles were literally the first shop we
Yep.
we went.
Yeah, I know.
The trinket shop.
Yeah, he sort of pokes around a bit. He actually does have also got a drawer of like 3 pairs of goggles. It says, yeah, they I get good business selling these things too. Some of the thief guilds around here.
I have no idea why.
Yeah. I don't know your affiliation, but could give these things to you for relatively cheap. Much cheaper than the highnesses up in the magic district tend to sell. A little bit cheaper.
Good to know. How much we talking?
How does 100 sound?
Can we call it 90?
We can call it 90.
Oh, you have me at 90.
Right.
I hand him a coin pouch.
Yeah. He takes it, and with the other hand, hands you the goggles.
Awesome. Huzzah! I can see in the dark now, guys.
Yay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've always been able to do that.
You can now hide in the shadows and not be afraid of the shadows.
Yeah, that one.
It's just a full episode of equipment kits, isn't it? All right.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
We're
That's
working
okay.
our way.
Vorkis doesn't know anything about the shadows because he's never there.
We get everything we came here for.
I got everything I wanted. You know, that one item I needed.
And then
Yeah.
all the other ones.
I blame Argus.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh no,
I thought
I
things
only
were gonna
bought
be a
all the other
little
ones.
bit cheaper than that shit, but whatever.
I only bought all these items because
He's
they
looking at
spent
some
so much
manacle that costs 4,000 gold. Like, come on. Manacle.
Well, it would have been useful, considering
Yeah,
what we ran
I mean,
into, but I
being able to
cannot
see
afford that.
everything, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Or at least when things are invisible.
All
That's
those times when the
about
new guy that I brought in didn't want to play Druid.
right. Oh, I've already played Druid. I don't really want to.
I blame Tim. Anyway, so can we all meet up at the?
Well, yeah. I
temple?
just have once you guys kind of say, you're pretty much done. I just have Nick sort of like come up on your shoulder and sort of like tug on your shoulder or whatever, and essentially just bring you back to us so that we meet up. Because
Sure.
I can kind of do that sort of thing, and it works. Makes life a
Imagine
little bit
you
easier.
land on the shoulder and just tug on her ear.
I thank Murphy for his time. And Vora, are you done?
I'm good. Just stopped for a book.
Yeah, shakes
Yeah.
your hand as he sort of walks you out of the back room. Just thank you. Thank you for your business. Thank you. Lets you guys out. He opens his shop. Goes back to business. What are you guys up to?
The bookstore.
Yeah, find a bookshop.
Yeah, I'm looking for a bookshop still.
Do the
Yeah.
book.
I want to go into a bookshop. Can you take me to a bookshop?
The book.
Yes, there is a
games.
bookshop. You can find a bookshop. There's a bookshop.
Okay, I want to go inside bookshop.
Okay, there's a bookshop. You're in the bookshop.
Okay, I want to speak to the bookshop holder.
Yeah, halfling sort of.
He holds the bookshop. Right.
Yep.
Oh,
Not
thank
like physically holder.
Hey there. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the usual books about my, well, whatever I am, as always, which never seems to ever happen. But I wanted to add one more book to your search for me.
All right, stranger.
I want to get a book about the Warforged.
Huh?
A book about the Warforged. Robot people.
Literally, I'm the only one in the world right now.
Yeah, no. She has no idea what you're talking about.
The closest you could get would
Okay.
be like constructs, like shield golems or things like that. But you're not gonna find anything on me because there's nothing.
Okay, then I would just ask if there were any books on what my
Golems
race.
and constructs.
I guess I probably wouldn't know what it was if I was the only one I'd ever seen.
Hmm.
So I'll just go. I'd probably not.
Yeah, he sort of says, "Sure, where do you come from?"
I have no idea. Awkward.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just like not here, and then I was here, and then I've been here for quite a long time, and I don't know how I got here.
I see.
I like butt in at this point and like maybe a book on the elemental planes. That might be a good start.
Yeah, maybe I could light a match and it'd solve all my problems.
Is he from the plane? Doesn't look like an elemental. Well, actually, yeah, kind of does.
It's the only link I have that I can think of.
Can I make like a water bubble or something? Improve? Like she just tested that I'm an elemental. Like that was insulting.
You could totally spit and then shape water.
Yeah, I'm gonna like spit and shape water and soak a bit.
Well,
Dude,
what you could
God damn it.
Like,
keep in mind, you're in a bookstore, so this might not be the best idea, but you could create water as looking at actually make rain.
Take that knowledge.
I probably wouldn't suggest doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think books take double damage from water-based spells.
They're
Yeah.
vulnerable.
No, actually, no. You could just create water, create a big.
I
big
mean, I
bubble
wasn't-
And say,
I wasn't
you
like
want to
gonna.
walk home dry, or do you want to walk home more? Cold,
Yeah, we can
wet?
just leave
Just hold the bubble above.
and go
You don't
group
want
back
a
up with
book?
everybody. No, I don't want a book now. I'm not an elemental. I don't know what I am.
Yeah, but it's a good link to something you might be.
Okay. Do you have any elemental books? I say water would be a good place to start.
I think I have something like that. Study of the Endless Sea. Yes. This should be similar to what you're looking for. And she takes out a book. It's got a interesting looking diagram of it. It's just a circle with a bunch of water and a few little islands. Title under it says Study of the Endless Sea. But she hands it to you. It's a relatively thick book. It says, few researchers have, I guess, compiled something of a database or something or other about what might be in there.
All right. Is she handing me the book?
Yeah.
Okay, so I take it. What was the name of it? You don't remember?
Knowledge of the Endless Sea.
Knowledge of the Endless Sea. So I take it and I look at it, look at the name, and then I look at Karen and go, the Endless Sea? That's a little insulting. And then ask her how much it is.
Yeah, hold on. That'll be 25, please.
And then I look back at Karen and slowly jump up and down with an excited look on my face.
25 gold
Yes.
Oh boy.
for a book?
The printing press hasn't exactly been invented yet, be mind.
But according to you, it's a book about me.
I'm in the wrong business.
Right?
I hand over.
I'll just
You're
set
in
the
the
book
business of
down and
having
slowly
it
turn
lead
around
to
and
a
put my head
castle.
down and walk away.
I hand over the like 25 gold, and I'm like, all right, Vora, this is my gesture of goodwill towards you.
Look, I wasn't given any gold, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Give him 100.
You've been
I
working in a
gave you
city.
100.
I was given. He said he gave me 100, but I was given 15. If there
I
was
totally
100, I
gave you
totally
100
would
gold.
just
I
buy
took
the
it off
book and
my
not have
sheet.
done that. But it's still funny. I got a free book out of it.
Yeah, you got 100 in, I guess, information money that you decided to spend out of pocket. Rather, I
I'll
guess,
make a
spend out
perception
of
check
pocket.
here. Are there any coin purses?
How
on
is
this
your
Vora?
perception? How is your perception that high? Did you like put points into wisdom? Holy.
It's my rogue expertise.
Are you checking me for money?
No, I like. What,
Yes.
Is your wisdom at least +2?
I don't even know I had the money
Yeah.
until right now.
He's very wise.
Damn.
Like you would make money appear on me that didn't even
More
exist
wisdom
before.
than I do.
I'm not going
Not
to do
very
everything
wise,
for you,
just
but
Well, Vora,
As
I
you
think
check
you can
around-
afford this book.
what are you looking for exactly?
I will just.
I was
pay
looking
for
to see
it
if Vora had any money.
I would just pay for it if I have the gold.
Okay. Well, he
Yeah.
has the coin pouch that Sarth gave him.
There you go. All right. I look at that and I'm like,
What are you gonna just take it off my belt and then pay for it, and then it's
You
gonna be
probably
okay?
could. That's not the point.
I
Let's
just
be
wondered.
fair.
I wanted to put myself in the situation.
I'm sure you can afford this. And I look down at the coin purse.
Oh yeah, that. I take out the gold and give it to her.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was counting. Then I will take the book, start reading it, and then just kind of like stand there and look at Karen and look back at my book and like in a like start walking fashion. And then slowly kick him in the heels as he's not doing anything.
I think we're all supposed to meet up soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were all headed towards the temple in the end, I think.
Yep.
Because it's probably a good place to go if we're dealing with fiends and stuff, at least to find out if they know anything and all that.
As we
should group up and tell them what we know too.
Yeah.
As we get closer to this place, do I recognize what kind of temple it is, Thunder? What deity, possibly?
It's mine, so...
Yeah, so the northern part of Versailles is basically scattered with temples, mostly to elven gods, but there are gods too, temples too. Majority of different ones, including one to Bahamut.
Okay. Got it.
Who knows, maybe there's one to Vol.
Who knows?
Oh, I didn't buy a grappling hook.
Yeah, well...
I think I have one.
Oh, cool.
That works too.
Hey, I'll trade. I'll give you this much lighter hookless rope for your hooked rope.
I'm looking. Oh no, I don't have one. Wait.
All right. Well,
You see how much easier it is to carry it?
I'm looking at these packs. Yeah, no, I don't think I have one.
He doesn't think he has.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shitty.
It's fine.
Bagler burglar
Well, I mean,
pack
like,
thing.
we could always buy one, right?
It's fine, I can get them one later.
City. Big city. Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah,
Can I
anyways.
retcon that I have one Thunder?
Yeah, sure. Just buy it.
Peg.
Just buy it. Okay.
Enough
Alright,
shopping.
temple time.
Anyway, so. Temple of Bahamut.
Yep.
Basically, how large is this temple in like a general sense and all that?
So I have a large building. It's got several pews. It's about 100 feet long ways. About 45 feet short ways.
Okay. And do I notice basically, you know, the whoever's kind of running the place and that sort of deal? Archbishop or
Yeah.
something weird.
Someone's cathedral, but yeah, you do see a cleric of Bahamut, easily marked by their wares up at the front.
Okay.
Sort of,
And can we just assume that on the rest, like Karen and Vora meet us, and we just sort of, tell each other what the hell happened on the way,
yeah.
just to make this a little bit easier.
Unless
Yeah.
you guys want to hide, yeah, it works.
All right. Well, all right. So I'll just show up. I'd like to pull the cleric aside and ask his position, his or her, I guess. No, no, Vora, you cannot. Especially not in the middle of the Temple of Bahamut. It's sort of a no-go.
That would reply, Cleric of Bahamut, one of the only in the city, I'm afraid.
I assume you run this temple then.
Yes, of course.
I need to speak with you. Preferably away from ears that may be prone to panic.
Can I do really quickly, Thunder, something while he's
Sure.
talking to this person?
What is it?
Can I? I don't remember if I think it's under prestidigitation. Hopefully, I'm not messing it up with Druidcraft. I want to make it smell like a skunk. Or is that
That's Druidcraft.
Damn it!
But I think you can inflict
Prestidigitation. I
spells.
can give smells, right?
Check.
I'm checking. I want to make him smell an odd odor.
Oh, thanks.
Odd odor.
So not quite skunk, but like dirty socks.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll just quickly cast prestidigitation real quick, type deal, and I'll make Argus, the air around him, emit
Smell
this
like an old
horribly
person.
odd odor, like BO,
Mhm.
socks.
Hey Argus, congratulations, you have body odor again.
You're now more human.
Thanks. I'll just sort of like
I'm
look
not
back,
subtle- I'm
like,
not subtle-
come
I'm
on.
not subtle about it at all. Like I'm not trying
Alright.
to hide it.
Yeah.
No.
So I use pre-distigitation to make it smell like whatever makes him the happiest, and then tell Sarth to cut the fuck out.
I can't really smell much, or at least I would assume like it's just one of those things.
Yeah,
it's
I
like...
don't want to smell you either.
Okay. Anyway, continuing the thing, I basically
Yeah,
just
so
say,
actually, you know nothing. You know nothing about what just happened. You
The
just-
cleric,
Wow.
now noticing you smell like honey and BO.
it's just a weird combination.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I'm literally,
yeah.
I don't think I have anything for that, but whatever, it's fine.
As you give the news to the cleric, there's a bit of worry in his eyes at first. Then he reclaims his composure, stands firm, and says, "Yes." What is it?
Okay, so assuming there's not a whole lot of other people around, because I don't want to like
Not really.
necessarily, yeah. So I'd like to at least explain the situation about finding the fiend that was in the crushed building, and basically ask if he knows anything or has noticed anything that might be able to help us figure out what the heck's going on as a starting point.
He shakes his head in despair and says, "I am afraid this is not but bad news. There's not much I know about what's going on."
Okay, then I'm going to turn to him and say, Bahamut has essentially charged me, most likely to take care of this problem. If there's any tools that you can offer us to aid me in my task, that would be greatly appreciated. I have a feeling this could get unpleasant, unfortunately.
I will dig through the archives, see if I can find. I'll see what I can find, I suppose, but
Appreciated.
can't
Also,
promise anything.
I'll also ask about, in a general sense, about Sarian and if she had come through there. I mean, I'd sort of like I don't know that she'd know that I was a paladin of Bahamut now, but it would be one of those things that's like, okay, may as well take a shot in the dark.
I have not seen such a woman, no. Yeah, are you looking for her?
That's part of the task, I suppose. Lastly, how many paladins would you estimate are in the city, should something terrible happen?
I'm afraid a shan't few.
Understood.
In terms of worshippers who Bahamut knows, it's me and 2 paladins, brothers.
I would advise you to be vigilant and perhaps get the news out that there are, in fact, less than savory types around, aka the Fiends, and for the other temples to stand at the guard as well.
They come in each morning. I shall warn them then or sooner.
Appreciated. I will let you get to checking the archives and take a moment myself. I'm just going to go ahead and sort of quickly relay that information, and then I'll PM you under the thing. It's the same prayer as
Yep.
before.
Gotcha.
And so I'll do that, and yeah, and then I'll kind of go back and wait on the cleric, and I guess we can figure out what the hell our next move is, because we know some stuff, and we need to figure out where we go from here.
Sounds good.
Oh, I guess me and Vora can relay you our information.
Right. Sorry, I
Oh,
did have to step away at one point. Basically, you know the last known position of her, right?
Yeah.
And how long ago was that supposed to be?
Very recently, because if you saw her,
It would have been like a day ago or a day and a half, 2 days, something like that.
like literally about a day and a half at max, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Well, that's
So,
a
yeah.
good start.
And it was the spiders that moved her, I believe.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you know, does it seem like she's under their protection, or is it forcible moving? Do you know? Was that a
I
thing that
think it's
came
more
up?
in the protection bracket.
Okay.
Possibly protecting
suppose-
her from whatever we had an encounter with earlier.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that again, honestly. But we have to do what we have to do. Hopefully. Well, I suppose we have a fair amount of new gear. And I assume that some of us will have to take time with it to bond to it, correct? Is there any of it that requires attunement, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically all of it.
Okay. That's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, like, figure out... Okay, so what time is it? Because I know we've spent a lot of time in the city.
It's about 1, I think.
Oh, wow.
Noon-ish.
Okay, so it's actually not that bad.
Well, you spent like 2 hours in the city.
Oh, right. Okay, so...
So should we just head back to the tavern?
Well, let's see what the cleric here has to say. And then,
Well,
or
she said she's going to scour the archives, right?
potentially, yeah, but...
That
at
process
least-
that will probably take a bit, but
Okay. Yeah, because I was kind of hoping for something like something that maybe boosted divine sense a bit. Because
you're
Man.
probably not going to get a holy
I
avenger,
know.
but maybe like an amulet that detects fiends or something.
yeah, that's sort of what I was aiming for. Okay, so that's going to take some time, and I assume she's told us to come back at maybe late tonight or something.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess we could head back and spend the time that we need to, and get this figured out.
Would say either in the late tonight.
I
or in the
know, and
morning.
try to have fun. Sorry, what?
Yeah, sorry, what was
That
that?
was my fault.
I was saying the cleric would say either late tonight or in the morning.
Okay. I guess in the morning would probably be our best bet. Because I only need 4 hours, but everybody else needs a lot more than that. Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything else we can do. Unless anybody else has any other ideas.
I think we should head back to the tavern and keep our ears open. But yeah,
I agree.
this tavern, after all. Lots of people there to talk to.
I say we go to the college.
Okay, we can stop by there on the way. We have time.
Because I got good books.
Okay,
Looks
so
good.
we'll all go as a group to the college and then back to the inn, I guess.
Sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
On 3.
No, we're not
No?
doing the huddle and break thing. Come on
3.
now.
In the middle of a temple? No one?
Yeah, no.
No one? Okay.
Not in the middle of my temple anyway.
Going back to quiet.
But yeah, I'll
Can I get on your shoulder?
I'll throw 2 gold in the offering plate,
Oh.
and that'll be me, I think.
I'm actually going to
I do the same, by the way.
look at the rest of the party. I'm just like, I'm actually going to go to the tavern myself.
2 gold to go.
And I'm going to spend my time working. You
We
guys
should-
fill me in later on what you find out.
If that's the case, then I'll head back with Sarth because I'm kind of in that mode of I don't want anybody alone necessarily. I just don't want anybody to get jumped.
They're just going to the college. I'm just going to head back now and get a head start so I can still sleep
Okay.
tonight. No big deal. You can chill with me if you want. I will also get us. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna get everyone 5 rooms. We already have 1, so I'm gonna purchase 4 more, how much would that be?
I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. Like,
To get 4 more rooms?
I know that sounds, but that splits us between the rooms, and
Why do we need to split that far?
Well,
Why not
that's
just
4
two?
rooms adjacent to each other, so they're all right next to each other.
Why not just like 2 or 3 rooms? 2 rooms.
I can just sleep on the floor. I don't even sleep.
And
Okay, you can bunk with someone, so I'll get 3 more
That's fine.
rooms.
yeah, you did ask for a large room the first time around.
Yeah, it is a
Yes.
really apparently big room.
So, Argus and someone else probably bunked, but, 3 more rooms, 3 gold.
I don't mind sharing.
I'll bunk with you. Why not? I just take up some floor space.
I just need a bed.
It's cool. I've got my own
Can-
robot bodyguard.
Thunder?
Yeah.
How much sleep do I need?
Should be 8
You need a
hours.
full 8 hours.
Huh?
You should need a full 8 hours.
Okay. Thank you. That's totally uncool. Is there like a spell for that?
Alright,
Nope.
and then after I procure the rooms, I'm going to go up to mine, right? And I am going to, you said it was around like noonish, 1 o'clock. I'm going to spend 8 hours working on the magical item.
All right, then. You know the drill. Arcana, gold.
Cool.
Really good Arcana. I think you might be getting close with this thing.
Yes. 25 gold gone. I will take, when the item finishes, I will take that. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, 25 gold. Got it.
I will say, rough estimate, you think you need maybe another day, just if you want extra touches.
Okay. Sounds good.
Assuming nothing goes horribly,
Um,
horribly wrong.
After that, I don't have the exact rules in front of me, but after that, I would like to then take the scroll of dark vision
Mhm.
and scribe it into my book.
Okay.
I forgot what the recommendation, the specifications were for going from scroll to book. It's a very simple one, I know that. Where do you have the rules offhand?
Not on hand. Isn't it just? I know it's. Isn't it like a long rest and 25 gold, or something like that?
No, that's to like, that's to rewrite your book or something like that. I don't know. Hold on. Just gonna look at this. Forgot my other books at home, but it's not this one. Why am I? Apparently, it's just an Arcana check. Good. Did Discord go down?
No,
No,
you're
you're
good.
good.
Oh,
Check that.
okay,
Wow.
good. It was.
That was really good. Good patience, everyone. Had me convinced for sure.
Yeah, I totally thought it went down because I was talking to nobody was saying a damn thing.
Okay.
Asking questions and everything. Nobody was saying a damn thing. Thought it was just me, and I was like, wait, did we go down? Because they were quiet as shit.
Actually, question.
It's just an Arcana check. It's DC 10 plus the spell's level, so it's the second one, so I gotta beat a 12 on an Arcana check. I am going to give myself the most guidances of guidances, okay? So hopefully I can beat a 12. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, here comes the Arcana.
Okay.
I don't need the +4, but I'm still gonna roll.
You're good.
26. I copy Dark Vision into my spellbook.
Weird question.
That will end what I was doing.
Just to possibly help out,
hmm
could I potentially help Sarth on the enchant? Because I am a caster? Or is that not a thing? I don't know. I don't
Or you
remember
can
how
use
it was.
Arcana, I think.
Yeah, he could. Instead, okay, so the 8 hours could be split up by, I would need double the amount of materials, right? So he could help me get that. Instead of me going and picking them up, he could pick them up while I spend double the energy to enchant into the item. So that's how it would technically break down. He could totally help if Thunder will allow it.
The only thing is I'm not proficient in Arcana. I'm religion.
It doesn't matter. You can still cast magic,
Okay.
so you have an idea of what's going on, so you know the items that I need. Again, it's not so much both casters have to cast the same spell; it's that both casters are eligible to contribute towards you.
Okay. I mean, if Thunder's cool with it, then that's something that I'd like to do, if possible. Especially as
The
I'm...
barbarian wouldn't have any idea what
That
items
works.
you're talking about, and I can be like,
Okay.
"Hey, get me the snake eye over there, or the toad
Yeah.
fucking ball sack, or whatever."
I'm down to compromise.
So can we do that, Thunder?
Mhm.
Alright,
Okay.
so then I will take off another 25 gold and cast another Ultra Self into it for the day. So I use 2
And
of
see
those.
All right.
if the Arcana check works.
And that'll be... Oh yeah, Arcana.
For the second half of it.
It's on the first roll, so let me guidance that 16. It's 18. Does 18 succeed?
18 will succeed,
Okay.
which means you now have the thing. The
Alright, so I have a copper coin that has 1 Ultra Self use per day.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, I just figured, I'm kind of planning to do well, we're all kind of planning to do a long rest. I may as well help out however I can before that, if I need to burn anything. Do I need to burn a spell slot myself, or no? I don't know. Because I
I
could.
don't think so. I think it's just Versailles.
Okay.
That just are.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Okie dokie, that
Yes,
works
sir.
for me. I don't know that there's anything else I can do. I feel weird not burning out my spell slots, but
Well, you had burned out one.
yeah, but just one. And that was to make someone not drunk anymore.
No, you
Oh yeah, and the hunter's mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I burned 2, but that's not much.
Being fair,
I mean-
what else can you do? Hit things hard?
I can get
Yeah.
drunk again if you want.
Well, I mean, fair enough. Do it before I take a nap, though, because I want those spell slots back for tomorrow. I got a feeling.
Bitch. Tell me when to get drunk, bitch.
Alright, okay. And the elemental shield is once
So-
per week, right?
Yep.
Alright, well, I guess I'll hunker down for now.
Okay.
Probably burn a divine sense before I do. Just
Just going back to the.
Please tell me there's a fiend right next to him.
In
Please
his
tell me.
bedroom.
No, you don't
Amazing.
see anything. You guys are going back to the inn then?
yeah.
It's just like
This was when we were at the end.
It's
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless there's another bookstore.
I'd
No, you're good.
I'd burn a divine sense to make sure nothing's there, and then that would probably be me.
Divine sense
before-
points at
Before
me.
my character goes to bed,
Hmm?
okay, before she goes to bed, I have 1 second level spell left for the day.
Mhm.
Okay. I would like to invisible myself,
Mm-hmm.
walk out of the room, go downstairs. The bar is not completely empty. I imagine it's still pretty good. It's like 8, 9 o'clock, so it's pretty good. It's going to be good for a while. Can I walk around, survey everything, and try to find a most spectacular pair of spectacles possibly lying around?
Give me an investigation.
Sure. I can give you that roll.
Yeah, you can find some.
Okay. Do they look nice?
Look nice enough.
Alright, I'm gonna grab them and go back upstairs.
All right. You hear somebody shout behind you. Hey, where'd my glasses go? But that's none of
Yes,
their
they-
business.
They will never
Float down a
know.
hallway.
No, they disappear as soon as I grab them.
Is that how that works?
Anything you're
yeah.
holding or carrying.
Yeah, anything I'm holding or grab. As soon as I grab them, pick them up, they are gone. Invisible. Like, I don't even need to be a thief. Okay, let's be real. Who needs sleight of hand?
Well,
Yeah, that's all. That's all I want to do. I just want to get some glasses.
Fair enough.
you need sleight of hand because you're not that gem
Can I-
over, and I had to
Can I
catch you.
prestidigitation them and try to shine them up? When I get
Sure.
back to them?
Yeah, you can instantly hear saw anything.
Sure. Make them up a bit. Make them sparkle.
Yay.
Did you really just go yay? Oh, alright, yeah, what do the rest of the group want to do?
All right.
Hang out in the tavern, basically.
So, is there anything else you guys want to do tonight?
No, I'm ready to see what happens tomorrow.
All right. If that's the general consensus, and we will see what
Yeah.
happens tomorrow, next time.
Alrighty.
Oh no!
Dun dun dun.
The cliffhangers, masterful, masterfully done.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
before I go to bed, there is one thing I will do.
you.
I'm going to very carefully put that gunpowder in my bag of ball bearings
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and create like a little wick for it, and basically try and make a very rudimentary grenade.
You're making a scatter grenade. Okay.
How devilish
Fun.
of you.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I didn't buy any casing or anything like that. It's a leather pouch. So
With gunpowder and
Yep.
ball bearings. And a piece of rope.
Yeah, but it's
See
not
how
going to
it
be lit
works.
anytime soon. All it needs is a spark.
Alright, so, sorry, we're having this, like, in-depth conversation over here about the fourth wall and other things, breaking the fourth wall. We'll get back to you, I'm sorry.
okay. So
All right, thanks for that.
Billy, you're gonna head off.
Well, what do you mean, like in real life? or-
You're gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed
Good.
too. I gotta get up in the morning.
No, I'm all right. I can hang around for a bit.
Oh well. I'm just asking because I don't know if you're going away or not.
I can stay.
Well, you don't need to stay, but
I might do. It depends what the terrible twins are doing.
yeah.
They're having a in-depth discussion. Well, thank
Well,
you
I
much
might bail a bit early, but
thanks for DMing Thunder and thanks for playing, guys. We'll
Yep,
see you
hope you
next
liked
week
it.
sometime.
Oh, I guess we're taking off.
I didn't get a chance to murder a fiend, but maybe next time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the first, I was telling Tim, it's like the first big city that we've come into as a group with money. So, like,
guys went on a
makes-
bit of a spending spree.
well, it's not like that. It's like we had to do things. We had to prep ourselves for the next leg of our journey as a group and stuff like that.
Which now that you got more powerful items, I can throw more powerful shit at you. And not kill any
We
kill.
didn't buy any potions,
Yes, you can
guys.
buy. You can totally.
How
I bought potions.
potions.
Aha. They're expensive, so I don't like buying potions.
All right, have a great night, guys. Talk to you next
Yep.
week.
Yeah. See you next week, guys.
Later.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Well, that's that.
I'm not sticking around this time because I'm over here at Tim's, and we're gonna have some talks and funs and everything.
All right.
So yeah.
Sure
Guys,
thing. Have a
have a
good one.
great week. Bye.
All right. Take it easy.
See you later.
Later,
Bye,
bye.
miss.
Oh.
La, la, la.